The Mind Over Chatter Podcast. The Mind Over Chatter Podcast with Oz and Hog. The Mind Over Podcast. The Mind Over Chatter Podcast with Oz and Hog.
Welcome, ladies and germs, to another edition of Mind Over Chatter with myself, Oz, and my good man, Hog, over here, Andrew Hogg, former national goalkeeper. Of course, why are we here to do this podcast? It's about inviting a guest in every week to, get a bit of insight into their lives, into their upbringing, into some of the successes and the failures that they've gone through over the years, as well as trying to understand a bit about their potential exposure to mental health, what they understand about it, if they've had any problems, and so on and so forth. Today, we're going to have a very, very cool and funny guest with us, a man by the name of Kevin Naudi, comedian, actor, amongst many other things, I assume. And we're going to have a good chat with him. But right now, as our intro to this particular episode, myself and Andrew are going to have a chat. I always get confused about what I should actually call you, because I normally call you Hoggy, right? You prefer Andrew or Hog, is that correct?
Well, the whole world calls me Hoggy.
Right.
I much prefer Hog to Hoggy.
Right.
I find Hoggy to be a bit infantile.
Is that right?
and I find Andrew to be a bit more intimate. So,
I see.
So my family members call me Andrew.
Right.
And I'm fine with the whole world calling me Hog.
Okay, but Hoggy is... does it make you cringe when someone calls you Hoggy?
No. No, it's fine.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just call you Andrew, I think. That's a safe bet, right? Andy. How about Andy?
No, I hate Andrew. And I really hate when I meet people and they're like, "Hi, Drew."
Right, really?
That
do you say like, my fucking name's Andrew?
Yeah.
Do you go that far? Yeah, really? Wow, okay. Do you get abrasive sometimes with it? Or?
No.
No.
But
that would be funny though.
They're automatically in my bad books.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder what I called you the first time. Do you remember?
Hoggy.
Probably like asshole.
No. I told you. I told you.
Hoggy, right? It's the first.
I remember the first time we met. You opened the door.
I opened the door. The XFM studios. Yeah.
And you embraced me like a brother and I love that, and I appreciate it till today.
And it's probably the reason why we're sitting on this couch together.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Okay, man, how have things been?
Things have been good.
Yeah.
I had a great week.
You're on holiday, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on holiday.
Skiing
with the kids.
Yeah, okay.
It was fantastic, and now I'm recharged and ready to go.
We have an entrance into the studio. We had a door open and a door closed, but that's okay. This is a live studio. Shit will happen, right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, cool. So, how skiing was good? No injuries?
Was good. No,
any injuries?
Touch wood, no injuries.
No injuries. Anyone? You were in a group. Did anybody get any injuries?
No. Actually, the guys I was with were pretty experienced skiers.
Okay.
I was the greenest one of all.
Right.
But luckily, being an athlete, I kind of pick up pretty well. The kids are amazing. It's ridiculous how fast. The center of gravity is low. It's like they nearly never fall. It's honestly.
Yeah,
it's an experience.
Kids can adapt to most things, can't they? They're pretty good.
Yeah. And for me, this whole skiing thing is very special because when I was an active football player, in February, March, the skiing season, I'm always in action.
Of course.
We're playing the league and training and whatever, so I could never get away. And also, you've got to be careful because of your legs and
that's another question. That's something that actually I always wanted to ask. Did you guys have strict rules that you couldn't do certain things because you're under contract, right? So how does that work?
When I was playing in Greece and Cyprus, yes. In Malta, I don't particularly remember.
Okay.
A clause in a contract saying that we couldn't. I remember one time them telling us not to drive motorbikes.
Okay.
But for me that was fine. I never did.
Maltese don't really follow rules anyway, do they? Let's be honest.
That is also true.
There's a lot of sort of shortcuts.
Bends
to the rule. Come on. Don't worry about it. Something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, cool.
So,
my week was good too, thanks for asking.
How was you? I was kind of there.
It's alright, pretty standard to be honest. I mean, nothing unusual happened. Weekend, very busy at work. Yeah, usual stuff, but always this podcast is a break away from the norm, so it's nice, yeah?
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. So we always start by a couple of things here on the show. First of all, we ask each other one question.
Yeah.
Okay? And we also ask what was our happy moment of the past week and what was our angry moment or pissed off moment of the last week. So where do you think we should start?
Okay, I'm going to start with what went wrong this week.
What
Okay.
went wrong? What was the bad thing?
Yeah,
Right,
the bad
okay.
thing. Okay,
Right, go on
because
then.
it's an interesting one. So let me paint the scenario for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's October, and we've had a discussion with the family, and we say, okay, we're gonna go on holiday. We're gonna go skiing. We're not a family like little in money, so our once a year holiday is very sacred to us.
You can say you were a wealthy family.
Whatever.
Not important.
Irrelevant. All right. So it's October. We booked the flights. We booked them through a travel agent. The week has come for us to go abroad, and I've made contact with the travel agent. Everything okay? Yeah. Whatever. You can check in at the airport. So we get to the airport really nerdily, 2 hours bang before the flight is meant to depart, and we rock up to the check-in desk. You know, relaxed. We're going on holiday. Kids are smiling. And when we get to the check-in desk, the guys behind the desk look a bit frazzled, and they said, I have to call my manager. I'm like, okay, call your manager. We only have 3 seats available on the plane. We've overbooked the flight.
That should never
We've
gone down.
overbooked
Right?
the
Come
flight.
on.
And I said, I'm sorry, something must be wrong because I booked in October, right? And I am usually very, very calm. I've got my shit together, but this time I could not. I
You lost it?
exploded. I lost it, and I started like banging and causing a
Really?
scene.
So you were physically getting...
They called security on me.
Wow.
And when she said, I'm going to call security on you, I said, get the security of the whole airport because I'm not leaving until I get on that plane.
Right.
To cut a long story short, we were lucky to a certain extent. And I don't know why I should have gotten lucky to manage to get onto this plane because in realistic, we did everything that was meant to be done. But there was the guy who owns the travel agency through whom I booked. A guy named Michael, fantastic guy, and he sorted it out, basically. And somehow we changed things around and we got onto that plane. Mm-hmm. But seriously.
It should never fucking happen, let's be honest. That should never happen. It's them just trying to make the absolute most money they can.
It's embarrassing.
Out of every single flight. So how did you get lucky in the end?
No, and their response to me is because it happens in all the airlines all over the world. And my response to her was, I couldn't give a, and I'm staying here until
you
I
say
get
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because one security guy came, and he was an exact replica of Wesley Snipes and Blade.
No way.
I swear to God, the guy couldn't have been more Wesley Snipes. I
You
swear
like
to God.
roundhousey or something? Or?
No, he
No?
was nice. He came, he understood the situation. Anyway, how was it sorted out? Basically, the guy of the travel agency said, we'll give him my seat, and then he managed to get onto the plane because someone didn't turn up, and anyway. So, yeah. And then the good part of the week was the holiday and seeing my kids in having a great time. So that's fantastic.
Are you the sort of person that can then calm down really quickly, or does it stick with you?
Yeah, I can.
You can calm down.
Yes.
quickly? Okay.
Sub on my partner, on the other hand.
She's a redhead, man.
Yeah, she's
She's a fireball,
hot-blooded,
man.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about yours?
So mine's a little bit more deep and meaningful than yours, and it surrounds people who come up to people like myself who have weight issues, and the first thing that they say is, "Oh, did you lose weight?" Fucking pisses me off, man. Pisses me off because of the fact that they don't really know. They're trying to do it to make you feel better, which is genuinely nice.
Yeah.
However, a person who struggles with their weight every single day does not want to have conversations about their weight all the fucking time with people who come up to you and say, "Oh, you look like you lost some weight." It's not a conversation that we want to have.
No,
now,
absolutely.
nobody goes up to a normal person and says, "Oh, your weight looks good, well done." But if you're a fat person, they come up to you and the first topic is your weight. One, it happens all the time, and it fucks with me, dude, and it makes me upset. I don't show it, obviously.
No,
I
I get what you're saying, but it could also be, I mean, looking at it from a flip side kind of situation, it could also be that maybe people struggle with I don't know, conversation starters. So maybe that's.
So the first thing is my fucking weight. Are you serious?
Yeah, why not? Because in their minds, maybe they're trying to be nice.
Well, they're not. This is the
I
point
get
where I'm
it,
saying
I get
get
it.
pissed
But the
off,
average
yeah.
person, maybe in the street, might not understand it in the way that they don't understand your
But
struggle.
it's like going up to a cross-eyed guy and saying, "Oh, your eyes look better today." Is the cross-eyed guy want to hear that?
But maybe they genuinely see a change in your eye. I don't know.
Or they touch your belly.
Oh, come on. Yeah, they come up and say, "Oh, look, it's gone down your belly. Look, there, well done.
No, it's true.
Well
it's true,
done." Oh, it
It's true.
pisses me off, dude, because we don't want to discuss it. We're fighting the battle every single day. We look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to discuss it, but it's the first fight. Hey, looks like you lost weight. I feel like saying, "Fuck you! I didn't. I put on 2 kilos. You bastard." That's what I feel like saying.
I didn't shit today.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that's what really it happened a couple of times this week, and it really pissed me off. So maybe that if anybody actually ever listens to this podcast, maybe they'll get a hint not to go up to people with weight issues and talk about their weight. Just avoid the subject altogether. They don't want. I promise you, the person who's actually there, unless they've really lost like 20 kilos or something, that person doesn't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah, fair enough.
that's what pissed me off. What was your happy moment?
No, I mentioned it already. The
What
fact
was
that we did manage to
Oh,
go
it was like a
and-
2-in-1.
Yeah, it was
okay,
a
then.
2-in-1.
My happy moment was very simplistic. Just shopping with my wife to buy some stuff for the house. Now, I hate shopping with her when it's her clothes and it's 6 hours. Can't stand it. But when we're like doing 2 hours of shopping, picking out little bits and pieces for the house, yeah, I love that. So we did that.
Seriously?
We did this past weekend, and it was
But
fun.
you get to have a say in
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now my wife is very open that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when we sort of redesigned our house some years ago, I did the whole the ensuite by
Seriously?
myself. Yeah.
And how does it look today?
Still great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got
Because
skills. man.
recently we were at a shop called Cosas, a beautiful shop, right? Very kind of Sicilian kind of pots and all that. And I go in with the missus, and basically everything I say was just kind of frowned upon. It's like, fine, next time I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
You can do what you want, and
Yeah.
we'll take it that way.
Yeah, that happens, right?
Yeah.
That can happen too. But this particular shopping experience was nice. It was enjoyable.
Good.
Now, normally we ask each other a question,
Yeah.
right? So what, you asked me. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't prep one, so I'm going to be shooting on the fly, all right?
No problem.
What's your question?
So, who is the athlete that you admire most, and why?
It's definitely Steven Gerrard, because for me he embodies everything both that a professional athlete should have, but also a human being should have as well.
And lack of trophies.
Huh?
And lack of trophies.
Lack of trophies. He
won the Champions League.
He won the Champions League.
Single-handedly, yeah.
He won a treble in 2001, including the UEFA Cup.
Did he?
Yeah, he won a good amount of trophies. He didn't win 10 Premier Leagues, obviously, but he won a good amount of trophies. And the way he captained our club, Liverpool, I just so much respect to him. So he would be my favourite athlete.
And I like him as a coach as well.
Well, I mean, he obviously has. He did well at Rangers. Not so good at Aston Villa. He'll get there though. I think he'll still. Whether he hits the top's another question. But we'll see. I'm going to steal your question.
Go for it.
Same question. Go.
I would say, geez, it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it must be hard for an athlete then to pick another athlete.
I like.
Luke Demek.
I'm thinking of a tennis player. It's not Nadal. It's Federer.
Federer. Yeah.
I really like Federer.
What a man, eh?
Yeah.
What a legend.
Humble.
Yeah.
I like how calculated
Super.
he is.
Super.
How calm under pressure. You nearly never see him lose his head.
Best
you know?
of the best, if you ask me.
Really good.
Best
really
of the
good.
best. Very, very good.
And for me, the humility in an athlete is really important. Yeah.
I agree, 100%. He's such a generous man too, and a well-rounded man. So really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting. We are here recording live at Michael's studio/garage, and we're loving every second of it. It's raw. It's amazing, and we're just loving it. And we appreciate Michael so much because he's putting so much help into getting this podcast up and running as well. So we'll talk about some of Michael's We'll try and get Michael some business a little bit later on in the podcast. So we'll give him a leg up because he's just been super awesome.
Yeah, for
with us
sure.
as well,
He's been really good, really dedicated to this podcast, and we're really appreciative of all
Absolutely.
his work.
You
Absolutely.
like the new setup?
We love the new setup. Thank
really
you, Mike.
improved day from the first one.
It's not exactly poltrone sofa, but it's a good start, Mike. All right, we're going to get there, all right?
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. All right, cool. That's our intro. In just a few moments, we're going to introduce the man himself who has been very humble in joining us today, Mr. Kevin Naudi.
The Mind Over Chatter podcast with Oz and Hog.
Well,
All
okay,
right.
you're talking to us about your failed radio career.
This is now officially take 3 because we've had some technical issues.
Listen, I want sort of way to start a podcast. Okay, well,
But it is today.
no.
It is today.
First of all, hi, Oz, how are you?
I'm good, thanks,
I don't
Kev,
have to say
you?
hi to you because I speak to you more often.
Yes.
No, we're saying that we never met in person, but
No.
obviously there's a mutual
respect for each other,
respect
yes,
one another.
exactly,
You know,
yeah.
I used to be a
Thank you,
fan
man.
of you guys.
I'm glad, thank you.
Yeah, and then you mentioned, or Hog mentioned that I was on the radio thingy, and
you
you called
did.
it a career, and I said, that's a career. Mine was just a.
A brief interlude.
It was no. I mean, to be
How long
honest,
did you do
It was
it?
a
How long
one-night
did you do it
stand.
anyway?
No, it was longer than a one night stand.
You
It was
did a year or so?
It was a broken relationship because I was promised a year or so, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. But I was
something like
promised a certain direction, so I took it on. I took on the challenge, and that's all I try and do with
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
I try and approach, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a challenge and something different, and to bring something different, which I did at the time. But then I was like, okay.
Broken promises.
Kind
I've
of
been
thing,
there,
but,
man.
yeah, I know. That's
Loads
why.
of times.
But it's it's
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So how
I'm good. Talking about broken promises, you should get into football and you'll
don't do
understand
that.
more.
No, why? Why? What do you mean? I used
But
to
you have
play
like a
football.
contract, isn't it? Like solid, set in stone. What are these promises that get broken?
I was bitten in football. You know the story of the
Bitten, like physically?
No, honestly,
I think I was actually
I
as
have
well.
no idea that you played football.
He was at a
Oh,
shower
yeah,
moment.
Andrew, man.
Oh, yeah.
Why? It's
You played with that tide or
Yes.
something like that, no?
Yes, and I played first division with Shire. Why?
Shire Tornadoes.
The Tornadoes level.
It's difficult for him to look down on you from
You
that
know what?
level.
I
you
don't
know?
know. Can we not get
I'm
into the
very
football
snobbish.
conversation with you out of all people?
I know, I don't get it, but yeah, broken promises.
I
all
don't
around.
get it. Yes, but I was once nearly.
Imagine you have a wife and kids and you're not paid for 8 months. I think that's a bloody broken promise.
I think this is starting to be relating to you.
It's getting a bit, yeah. You sounded
I
a bit
think
like.
there are some hidden
sour there,
agendas we
yeah.
need to address here.
Okay.
We might need counselling.
Who should we send the link to this podcast to directly, Mr. Hogg?
Just make it pop up in his YouTube channel like Hog Speaks Outburst. Whoa, I think that's me. Tell you, this is which program will it be? I'm on
The number 3, you are episode 3, man.
Number 3.
Number 3.
That means like I'm in the middle, which I mean is the most important, I would say.
We
number
plan on
3.
doing hundreds, so it being in the top
okay.
3 is pretty good,
Fair
right?
enough. So-
Well, we plan. It depends how things go,
It
right?
depends on the.
It depends on a lot of different things.
I just
yeah.
hope you get out the 4 and 5 after mine. They'll be like, what is this shit?
We'll have
No,
the team.
it has to be good because honestly, I'm hoping. We spoke about this today for a coffee machine sponsorship. All right, so this has to be good. Be on your A game. We need this coffee
You
machine.
don't have a coffee machine.
No, we don't have a coffee
Sponsorship.
Not yet.
Bro,
you have any
humble
connections?
beginnings.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
how easy it works.
Humble
Is it okay if I
beginnings.
call you Kev, by the way?
What do you mean? That's my name.
I don't know. I shorten everybody's name.
No,
Maybe
Kev,
you'd be like,
Kev.
no, it's Kevin.
In
I
fact,
must be called
I was
Kevin.
having this conversation with my wife and my daughter that I don't agree with names that you can't shorten.
Oh, thank God.
It's like, for example,
I
like
shorten
my wife
everything.
Jean and her brother Dirk. Like you can't go like what do you do?
Drew, right?
Drew.
Yeah, it's Drew.
Hey Andy. Hey Drew.
Andy,
Kev. Hey Oz. How do you go? Like I can't call her short. It's actually ironic because then the less formal one is you extend. It's like hey Jeannie, like Kate. Hey Katie.
Yes,
Like
yes.
no Dirk. Fuck it. Dirk remains Dirk.
Oz
Hey,
is like Aussie.
Oz,
That's pretty
Ozzy,
simple,
Oswaldo, if you want
That's
to go
right.
like Latino.
I'm pretty relaxed about what people call
What is your
me.
full name? Oswald.
No, my real name's Dave, man. David.
Yes, Dave. I forgot.
David, yes. It's on my Facebook then. You probably saw
I
it a
forgot
couple
Dave
of times.
Oz, alright.
Yeah, David, Aussie, and very common Borge. I'm a
No, I
Borge
remember
man,
the
yeah.
David
Yeah.
part. How long has it been since you stopped radio actually?
It has been now 3 years, man. Can you believe it?
Gee,
Since look, I stopped literally a week before lockdown. shut down of COVID.
All right, since the beginning of the whole.
Since the beginning, yeah.
shenanigans
There was
all
obviously
happening.
a big fracas internally at XFM when COVID hit, and that's when I decided it was time to...
The whole XFM thing, I mean, I'm sure nothing's saying, no, nothing that no one knows, but it's like a mystery station now.
What it is now.
Where's XFM?
Well, I guess I can be open and honest about it. I don't know. It's when Jay and I were involved in the second coming
All right.
of XFM, which was 2014.
The way you said it was quite spelled anyway.
It was quite what?
The way you said it.
Yes, coming is the second
I think
coming.
the spelling would have been a certain way.
Yes, we'll put the spelling in the bio underneath this episode. So in the second coming of XFM, when myself and Jay got it started again, we had investors who didn't purchase the whole thing outright. They basically leased the frequency, right? So basically right now the frequency has gone back to the original owners, and I guess they're deciding what they want to do with it at this
Fair
stage.
enough.
I don't know, but radio frequencies are pretty expensive over here, so
I don't know. I don't
I
miss
don't-
my time.
no, and I wouldn't waste your time either. Radio is a tough business in Malta. There are certain stations who do it well and
I
do
think
it
there's
properly,
one
but
specific we don't need to mention because I think we all know who it is, that they took the brand off radio, threw it on social, and
Yeah.
I'm referring to the phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Keep on doing a phenomenal job, just keep on getting better and better and better, and then on air
you
they
can't
do what
mention
they
it.
do.
This is Vibe.
Vibe,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. They know how I feel about it.
Johnny's one of my oldest friends.
Yeah, no,
man,
but
you know?
I think, and that was one of the things when I told them, listen, I said, if you want to push forward, you go social, gain the people, and then you go,
Yeah, Frank's doing
it
an
works in
amazing
reverse.
job,
Frank knows what
Frank's
he's
doing an
doing,
amazing
Johnny
job.
knows what he's doing, they all know.
Yeah.
So hats off to that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's I'll give you a bit of insight, Kev, into how this sort of thing rolls. We like to discuss three sort of things on this podcast. Number one is life. Your life then, your life now. Number two is successes and failures, of which we've all had many, I'm quite sure. This guy, a few more than most of us, but anyway.
Yeah.
And the third thing is mental health, because it's sort of a subject that is passionate to both of us in different ways. So we can start off by your life, and I always like to dig. I want to read this, in fact, because I sort of copied and pasted this today. How professional, eh? I copied and pasted this today, and I think it really tells a lot about the first 6 years of one's life, okay? It's a quote by Dr. Maria Montessori.
All right.
Now, you know the Montessori thingy.
I'm going to say yes for the
It's a
flow of
school
the
system
conversation.
thing, right, for the early years of life. He's
school.
got no
Nursery.
fucking clue.
Listen,
No idea.
Drew, man, at school wasn't my... If my daughter see... Anyway, continue.
Okay, so this is the quote. The most important period of life is not the age of university studies, but the first one, the period from birth to the age of 6. For that is the time when man's intelligence itself, man, woman, he, she, they...
Them, Fisher, them, blah, blah,
exactly.
blah, blah.
When man's intelligence... This is a direct quote, so it's not me saying it. Don't blame me. Man's intelligence itself, his greatest implement, is being formed. But not only his intelligence, the fully totality of his psychic powers. Okay? So basically, in a nutshell, the first 6 years, fucking important. Building blocks, right? It's the foundation of everything we become.
So the question is, how psychically powerful have you become over those 6 years?
Yes. How was your first 6 years? I mean,
Of
tell
my
us
life?
about it. Yeah. From what you can remember.
I mean, from what I can remember, obviously, I don't believe anyone can remember the first 2, for example.
You don't? Really?
No, I don't.
It doesn't remember. What a loser.
No, I remember it dark at first. And
Then there was light. Then it was like,
then I saw.
it looked like it was raining and it was in the forest.
Then I had just like this thing, and then the cuts was gory and stuff, but then I chose subconsciously to ignore that. No, I remember it was, I think, irrelevant to the 1 to the 6 or 6 onwards, I think all my childhood, all I can remember is just always on the go. That much I can always remember because I was the 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth of 5
right?
children.
Yeah.
My younger sister came after 8 years of me. So the first years of my life were battling to. It was like, I mean, I joke about it in one of my stand-ups. I can't remember which. Where I remember, like, mom goes to buy ham. Like, just a lot of fucking ham. And before you get to the ham, this fucking ham is gone. So it was always like, It was like a challenge, like a battle, like a fit for the battle of survival.
Survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
So I think that was it, but it's not in a negative manner. It was it molded me into the character I have today. I mean,
So a struggle to be seen, basically.
it was, and I had to be like tipo
Which
hi.
is is very common.
No, which is very true. I used to
Exactly.
joke, and I said I was one of my stand-up 2017, and I say I was the fourth of five, and I said, can you imagine how irrelevant my first steps were? Like, mommy, and she's like, fuck it. I've seen it three times before.
She's
it
bored
means
of
nothing.
children by the time you came along.
Look, I
right?
can juggle. That's the thing I could have done only for her attention. Like,
Juggle.
so I can't actually juggle. It's like a metaphor. But it was that. It was always like, I'm here as well.
Is there any sort of negativity to come out of that period? I mean, I imagine as a 5-year-old with all that going on around you, it's not the easiest of situations.
No, I think the negative I look back, I think I can take from that period, to be fair, and I guess it's about use the word deep, but which carried on onwards was I had no relationship with my father really and truly.
Okay.
Not really and truly, there was none. Like if you tell me look back and tell me in one real good moment, and then I think that's what happened was because it's a bit strange because although one would say I get it because now obviously we've grown up and our perception, psychology helps us with not psychology, psychotherapy, whatever you call it, therapy, which is fine. When you see it from a perspective, be it if I agree with his ways or what have you, but so much going on. He had 4 kids when we were 4 kids.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't, I have 4 kids. No, it was like, you have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So, I get when you see it from a different angle and in his shoes, I go, maybe he couldn't fucking handle another one, basically.
Yeah.
So then he had another one.
But then I joke about it. I go, clearly after 8 years, he was like, okay, the photo wasn't good enough either. So let's go with the 5th. Exactly. So,
But I think that was the way that fathers used to act back in those days. I mean, maybe there was less awareness today. So, for example, I remember my father to be really work consumed, and looking back, the fun times with him, I see them a bit less than the fun times with my mom, for example. So me as a father today, I really make a conscious effort to be present in their lives and to be more kind of present in the situation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
you're not.
There were more.
No, you're not wrong.
Good times, but
no, you're probably right. You're spot on because when I've taken so much. Once Kevin Hart in his biography, he mentions same thing. Not because he had a bad relationship with his dad, but his dad was I don't know, he was like a drug deal and it was crazy stuff.
Read it, no.
But still he used to try and be a good dad as much as you can be when you're a drug addict, basically.
Yeah.
So he says what he did was he took all that, understood it, and then reversed it completely with his kids. So I guess I say, I did take a positive out of it, out of the non.
Yeah.
Once a father of a friend, someone I knew, passed away, and I said, listen, at least you had cherished the memories that you had. Better having that memory than having someone there, alive, let's put it that way, and
he's absent.
And nothing to go and use that.
But
exactly.
I obviously, we know each other and I know how you are with your children.
Yeah.
I see you on social media as well. I see you in real life, and I see how present you are with them.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I think that I managed to take the same kind of way. Not saying, I have to make this very clear, with my relationship with my father is really good and he is very, very present with us today. But I think the mentality back then was a bit
different.
more work-oriented.
Listen, not just that, the perception of man and the man's role in society back then was very different to what it is now, right?
Changed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very, very different. So, I think most men of that generation were built similarly. They go to work, they come home, dinner's ready, they sit at the table, they go to their home office or they go in front of the TV and they watch some TV and they go to bed.
But
remember
like you're
the
saying,
newspaper.
but Andrew said something really, really vital. It's not because sometimes it's maybe the quantity is less, but then you just give that punch of quality, which is fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
You have the yeah, that could be, for example, like come to the game, or the tap on the shoulder, and like it could be a little thing that you take on.
Yeah.
Then there are scenarios like, for example, a game. I'm not being to have it woohoo in that sense because it's far off that, but that I didn't have. You know, like so I can't relate in that sense. And Andrew, what he's saying is his dad was work consumed.
Yeah.
But still a dad.
Sure.
So that's okay. And like I was just saying, back then that's how it was.
I gotta be
most
honest,
of
I have
scenarios.
no real reference point because I only had a relationship with my dad in the last couple of years, really and truly. So I don't really have...
The beginning side of things.
No, I have no
yeah, but it's,
idea
look, I'm
what
a
that sort of thing
fond
is like.
believer of never too late. In fact, one of the things I always brought up, and I'm okay to speak about because many of my friends and families know, is I always told him, at least be present for the kids, my kids.
For your grandkids, yeah.
Now it's your, I mean, look, man. It's, you know
Is
what I
he
mean?
doing the job? He's doing the
So
job?
you had this kind of conversation.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot. So much goes way deeper in the sense of family. With the family business, I resigned. And there's no. It's things that you just. I think they mold you again. Do they affect you? I think at a certain point they do, a lot. Thankfully, but the chip is no longer there because that I carried for quite some time. Not gonna lie. So that chip was there for a long period.
Yeah.
You think it's not. You're like, who has it? As if I care, like me, who gives a fuck? And then you're like, oh, then you go home. Why doesn't he love me? You know what I mean?
Have you completely released the chip though, or is this still a bit
I
of
think
a
it's
bit?
completely released. Now it's more of a. It's a pity chip. Not a chip. It's a pity note I have that's hanging there, like saying, you know, that kind of thing.
No.
But it's no longer the, like.
Yeah.
You know,
I
It doesn't
can understand.
consume.
No.
I let go of it completely only in the last year because I had a huge chip, you know, with my father especially, with both my parents to be quite honest, but with my father especially because of the absence mostly. But I have somehow let it go in the last year.
I think when you address it, a good exercise that I was told to do is write it
Journaling,
down.
right? Like journaling.
Like journal it.
Yeah.
You don't have to give it to the other person,
No,
be it
absolutely.
father,
It's
whoever.
for you only, usually.
But you write it to him. You know what I mean? And I think that already started me, and I was like,
Can we get a copy of that?
look, I swear it was just. And there was also a matter of another good advice was given to me that prioritization. So you know, wake up straight away. Who do you think of? And again, I can't use the word unfortunately because you know I don't ask for this. You don't ask for certain things, but
Sure.
it's like way, you know, that name, that person, like way, you know. I go, wife, kids, mom.
Yeah. And then you get.
And then you're like, you know.
Yeah.
Oops, right.
So you just somewhere in.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It is what it is, and it's helped me. In I think my drive it has over the years it gave me an incredible. Again, we can talk bluntly. No fucks given in failure, and that's something that I preach to anyone who's thinking of entertainment side of things. There's no fucks given.
You just go head first.
There's no
everything.
fucks given. I don't care if I.
How do you do that though? I don't have the ability to do
It's
that. How
something.
do you do it?
To be honest, I was always, as a bit rebel, not in a negative manner. Sorry. Like at school, like. I don't know. I didn't used to say if I say like this could be funny. I have to say it. I say I can't keep this joke to myself. Like for example in class, and the teacher's like, "What did you just like? How are you just blunt it out?" And I'm like, "Come on!" And they'll be like, "I think you need to leave the class." I'm like, "Okay."
So I assume that you're the most popular of your siblings, no? Most out there in the world.
When you say popular,
Context, Andrew. Context.
No, none of them are in the entertainment side of things.
Exactly.
So,
and how does your father react to that? Is he supportive or?
No, not supportive. I mean, he's come to the shows in the past, but it was more. Actually, it was ironic because there was a lot of resentment from when I was at the company. Like they couldn't fathom the fact that I had a life outside the office. That's something that was a problem. I think maybe they're not conscious about it. I think they are in a way, in a manner. So even like if the noggin would pop up, these things will be brought up.
Because you're not
Which
fully
kind of
focused
fucking
here
sucked.
and you're
It was
focused
a-
on other
I
things.
was very focused,
very
believe
petty.
me, because I used to work, believe me. So it was never an issue. I never had issues with my brothers about work coming in, about work business wise.
Yeah.
It's never an issue. But they just, I don't know. It was more like a like this thing that they speak
Tingiza.
on, like Tingiza, like if an argument pops up, for example, which is fine. That would come up, you fucking showed. I'm like, what? Like, in front of the camera.
That's a bit weird. There was what
Sucks, that's what it is.
What do you think the reason is behind it, though? It's really petty. Is it jealousy? Do you think it's jealousy? Can you say that? Maybe?
Yeah, I can.
Are they all locked in the family business? Or?
No, not from my life. For example, my brothers, my sisters, they support, my younger one especially. It's just
okay.
like I'm used to me. My elder sister as well supports. Even my two brothers. There is that. Again, I don't even think that there should be a backlash from them if they come across this. It's not a matter of envy or pettiness. Far from it, because I think it's just a matter of that they didn't have that thing outside.
Yeah.
It could be whatever. It could be a sport that they didn't at that, maybe in that specific moment in time. So I think that used to be taken against me, ironically, like
so it is
like,
a
what the
bit
fuck,
of,
like
it is a bit of jealousy then, because they
jealousy, but not like I wish. Yeah, okay, but not I want to be that. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't have something. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
No, I get you, man. I get you.
So no, those
Makes a lot
definitely.
of
My
sense,
brother
yeah.
Roberto has been to I think all my shows. All. I think so. My sister-in-law and they have a good life themselves. So it's not a matter of entertainment-wise. I think they just couldn't understand that I had a passion outside of. I think that was the main trigger.
Sure.
That they couldn't. I never liked them. I said my passion, although I love creative and what I did at the office, at my company with creative direction and which I still do, but not there. My passion is for arts and entertainment and acting. As simple as that. Like, they know it. It's not like it's never a secret. Like I hid it.
Yeah.
And I think that triggered a lot of this, this counter magnet thing that you just.
Yeah.
I never got to say, can we just be okay with it? Like I have a life outside of it.
Yeah.
I think that caused. Yeah.
I wanted to go back to something because it reminded me a bit of my own childhood. You said in class and all that stuff, you were the one cracking the jokes. You were the class clown. How did that situate you within your peer group? Was it a positive or a negative? And I'll tell you, after you tell me yours, I'll tell you mine, because I was the class clown too.
No, I think, to be fair, one thing I can take with me, and any teacher who taught me, or tried to teach me, would always say I was never rude, in the sense my naughtiness was based on funny. Funny as in clever joke, like, something would happen, I go, no, and say something. So I think that gained me popularity in that sense. Because
with the other students, with the other kids around?
Because I was like, this, although I was short, like this larger than life guy, Kevin.
Pocket rocket.
Yeah. Yes, it was, there was that side of things, plus sports helped as well, so I was quite, I played football and I was good, Andrew.
And you remember? You remember, Andrew?
No, you don't remember,
no, I don't.
but some do. Okay, we're not
talking
talking football together.
Did we play against each other?
No, how?
Exactly,
How
so
would
you
you
never
do
played
Yes,
it?
you
Why would
don't remember he
And
scored
first
a
of all,
hat.
more than you.
So
You know
he
what?
never
Fuck
played
you,
football.
Andrew.
But
How
listen,
could?
So, how does this all feed into the creativity, into the marketing work that you do today? You remember we did the
campaign of Euros.
campaign of Eurosport.
They should sponsor you now. We said them. No.
Yeah, I think they should.
Andrew just drops any name. He doesn't give a shit.
This product placement sucks.
I
don't get how this radio stuff works. All right.
It's not even real.
It's not radio, man. It's a podcast. And the idea is you don't name drop,
It's
so
my
then
third-
hopefully
it's
you
my
can
third
attract
time.
sponsors.
It's what you do is you build on
Well,
it.
listen, I asked for the coffee machine.
We didn't even do an official request.
But then at least you should have said, Nespresso, we want a coffee machine. You didn't mention a
He's
name.
throwing hints out there which mean nothing. He's
no.
throwing the actual brands which they'd be like, thank you, now we're not going to sponsor you.
I want free beer.
I think when I look back, even I joke, I find, back at my mom, I used to find like diaries, which were always empty of school, by the way. But then I remember I'd be at school and but it's amazing because you wouldn't even know I didn't even know what my father company did back then.
Yeah, of course.
At school, I just thought they were signage, like outdoor, like hardware material. In fact, I kind of introduced the actual advertising side of things. And I remember creating ads, like You know, like I was looking at him going, he's going name drop another one, and I was gonna. So, you know, the dark thing that you put on toast. I love to make it. I just said it.
Just say it.
Bovril. And I used to, like, I'll be at school.
I think we Nutella.
There's Marmite, there's Vegemite.
Stop mentioning
So many
brands!
different types there could be.
I think we're gonna get lots of sponsors after today. So I remember just creating them at school and sort of clearly paying attention. I'd be like, and I remember doing an ad. I still remember it of the sumo of a sumo wrestler, and then but it's me just expressing my thoughts and my mind. And I remember the sumo like gets covered with the actual thing
How
of the
come you didn't ask me
the
to
shape.
act in that particular thing?
No, but I think it goes back always that it was always creative. I always had that.
Yeah.
It was always there. I always said this when even I remember with clients sometimes. I what have you. People have this. Some people go, I wish I'd do in the creative industry. No. Either have it or you just don't. You can't learn. You can learn production side of things.
Sure.
You can get molded into the idea and understanding of creative, but you
Yeah.
can't become and just say, I can do creative work. No, you can't. And I can be an ass. I can sound like, but it's not something you practice or you perfect it when you have it.
Yeah.
And you understand what to do without, and to add on or to increase on, or like when you're writing stuff, do without certain things, or like advertising, productions, you know, okay, after, like when I look back at the ads I've produced early on, I look and I go, not because they'd be like cringy at all, but you're like, why did they waste like 8 seconds on that shot? Like, these things, but again,
I find it interesting because your experience as a child being that persona was completely different to mine. For example, when I was...
you were going to mention before of the...
when I was that age, when I was in school, particularly high school, I had a lot of shit going on at home, first of all, to put some context into it. So, the only way for me to release was through comedy, through trying to... It was not just a matter of comedy, but also a matter of gaining attention, let's be honest, right? So there was... But for me, the reaction was different. It was seen, as a child, it went totally against me. And it put me into a very small circle of people and sort of extricated me from the rest of them.
Okay.
As an adult, it's been the complete opposite. I got much more respect. People were drawn to me. They really enjoyed what I was doing, but it was completely different.
So back then it was...
the opposite completely. Yeah.
Stay away, Dave.
This guy's... What's wrong with this guy? This guy's just going to trying to get attention. Weirdo, yeah. What's the old saying? All this stuff.
And
could be cultural as well, because Australia is pretty tough.
Fair
I was brought
enough.
up in Australia.
Okay.
Quite different, to be honest.
That might be a factor in...
But it was completely different, yeah. And when I got to Malta, I was embraced. Maybe it is cultural, because I was embraced so much when I came here.
This was when... all right.
When I was in Australia
got
as
it,
a
got
child,
it.
right? I grew up in Australia.
And
so
what age did you come
19 I came here.
All right, which is also a delicate age to come.
Yeah, and you don't want to know who my second friend was here? My very second...
Second?
Not my first, my second friend.
Who?
Yeah. Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah. Johnny was my second friend.
What were you at school?
I was at university at the time. When I met Johnny, I was studying. You're not going to believe this, and you're not going to believe this about Johnny either. He was studying architecture, and so was I.
All right.
None of us are fucking architects. I can tell you that much. Architecture. He lasted 1 year and went on to something else. I lasted a year and a half, and just quit school completely. I wanted to do entertainment. Yeah. So.
And I have the questions because I have some questions for you guys.
Ask away, man. As many questions as you want. Whenever you want.
One of them was because you mentioned comedy.
Yeah.
And I've always been curious, but we never met. And then when I messaged and I was like, how cool to come over here. Did you do stand-up first of all, ever?
No.
Okay, because at least the actual question.
Yeah.
Why not? But before you answer, allow me to explain why I'm asking.
Okay.
I get a lot, quite a few, thankfully, which is nice. People reaching out, I'd like to start going. In fact, workshops have come to my mind to do, but anyway, that's and I say, I'd have to meet you and I'd have to see if it's there, just like the creative.
Yeah.
Just the same thing. You either have it or you don't, and it shows. Because you cannot have it but be a structured comedian, which that's fine. It's called a scientific comedian. I call it scientific approach. So you have the jokes, you have to learn, you deliver exactly. It works, sometimes it doesn't. Like Jimmy Carr, in my opinion, I don't find him one bit funny. I find him funny as a host.
Funny.
Not my favorite. I find it funny as a host.
Yeah.
as a TV host, like the TV game show, I love it. Well, stand-up, which I'd watch any day, but okay.
He's got a particular style and brand.
Because
right?
it's
So,
robotic. I call it.
Yeah.
It's robotic.
Raw.
It's and it's not the rawness. It's just the
raw, no.
style. It's just the style.
Yeah.
I like Jim. You know, just last night I watched his latest special, Jim Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries. Is
I mean, you want to call.
very hardcore, but great.
Oh, yeah, you saw his latest one.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh Lord of mercy! Hello.
Hardcore, yeah.
Oh Lord! At one point, when you think he was fine for an hour, he just goes like literally. He looks at the guy, and goes, "Okay, then fuck it." Like basically, just warns the whole fucking nation.
Wow.
It's going down now, like, and it just goes
He doesn't.
really fast, and you're like, "What is he saying?"
Like you said before, no fucks given.
No fucks given.
Nothing,
You have to
nothing.
see. I can't. I will not. But you have to see what. So my question to you is, because when I used to hear you on radio mostly, but that's mostly where I for the many years, there was something so naturally quick and charismatic, and I always said, how hasn't he done, or haven't I seen, stand up of David Oz? So I'm asking, how come not? Yeah, or is
Yeah.
it not yet?
No, I think it's definitely a not.
All right.
Ever. I've never found myself good at preparing things.
Don't. Beautiful.
Yeah, but you can. I don't know. Going up
But
for
how do you go for an hour?
No,
show
no.
and have nothing
But-
prepared?
Alex, there's a difference. Prepared is because it depends what he's referring to. If it's prepared, meaning, you know, a lot, how will I perform, etc., etc. Fuck that shit. Me. But I'm on the level style of Robin Williams, and it's just loose. That's the.
Yeah.
I have a script.
That's
And
right.
I strongly believe Oz can write. That's my best.
Yeah, probably. You know, I get you. I get you 100%. I don't know. It's just. I had thought about it for a brief second. Let's put it that way.
All right.
And it never developed from there. Number one, radio was just a huge passion.
Okay, that's much.
Not to say that I couldn't have done something else outside of that as well. I probably had enough time, but I don't know. I never was able to commit fully to entertainment for financial reasons.
But it's not even. I'm full time on it. I wish. So it's not a matter of because in front of an audience. No, nothing.
No,
like that.
I mean,
absolutely,
no.
because you've hosted.
I've
events,
hosted
so-
loads.
Exactly.
I hosted Iron Maiden when they were here.
So when
you know,
you've
and stuff like
hosted,
that.
was it on a humor side of thing? Like, was it on a? You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, there
Is
was-
your hosting comical approach?
to a point.
To a point.
But it wasn't stand-up comedy. That's
No,
what-
all right,
It wasn't
all right.
stand-up comedy. It's a really good question, Kev. It just never crossed my mind. I have so much respect for yourself and any stand-up comic, whether they're a success or failure, just getting up there
Doesn't
in the first
matter.
place. Because you have to understand as well, the crowd is there to judge you
Of course
as
it
a
is.
stand-up comedian. And judge you more than you would be judged in most other professions.
But I think. Tell me.
How did you originally get into stand-up comedy? Because you were reluctant at first, no?
Not reluctant, no, because it was a matter of I always loved stand-up comedy, so it's something that I used to watch, and as a person, I'm the one that ironically should have studied because I absorb, like even if I do an audition for lines, it's not because I photo I absorb the context of it, and then it just plays back. And then you know how I am. I will be out and about, and just happens. And then I take over, so to say. You know what I mean? Then at one time I was at a wedding of a friend of mine, of Rudy Sherp. Johnny was playing, and the police came to stop the music. This is where it kind of started linking to it. And I think I took the mic, or Johnny, I can't remember. And someone said, "Save the wedding," something like that.
Save the
Something like- and I had this fucking
No
mic.
pressure, Jesus.
I had this mic in my hand, and I didn't know what was on, so I went, "What did he say?" And that's when obviously it amplified every fucking
Oh,
head in the
man.
side just turned to me. But it came so easy, and I just spent, I think, 25 minutes improv. And I was doing Al Pacino to the police. I was like, "Her little pigs in blue, fuck you." And they're standing there in the back, just really
Were they
grumpy.
laughing? Or?
No. But I was like, "What are you gonna do about it, huh?" And I was just going on and on. And then the clinical part was I was at the house of Ray Kaleya, who is a good friend of mine, and I would say someone that has inspired me a lot. And he was on a roll, and I was managing to bounce off back. And he realized, he said, like what the fuck, like, how are you? Because I mean, Ray's Ray.
Yeah.
And I was like, then he'd say something, I go, and like, funnier. Then he's funnier. Then I'm even funnier. And he was like, oh. And he just threw it out. He said, listen, you should do stand-up. That's exactly, I remember where it started. And I said, then I don't know how long after, I just said, and it's weird, in my mind, I said, I book the venue before I even write, that kind of thing. Because if I
guess
won't...
it gives you a bit of motivation, right?
Yeah.
Without motivation, I do jack shit myself.
Yeah.
Jack shit. And I only go into things that I know I can succeed.
Your first one was in Santa Venera?
Santa Venera, MADC. That was 2015. So I did 2 nights there. Then I...
And if I'm correct to say, you struggled a bit in that one?
It's not struggled. When I look back, you'd say if it was just that one time, everyone would have gone, Kevin did a good, it was fine. When I moved if someone had to see me now, live, or even on video, like I would never put the whole video out of 2015.
Okay.
Because like I'm just saying, when you look back, you're like, it was, although it was, you can call it a comedy special because it was taped and I uploaded and it was a whole hour and 15 minutes. You know, when I look back at certain things, it was more the improv kind of comedy club style of delivery. So it was...
How many people did you have?
140 and 140. That's how much it took. 145, something like that. So, yeah, they were like... I would call it clumsy.
Okay.
That's the only way I'd put it. It's a bit clumsy. When I look back, I go, like, little things like he'll be talking, and you forget, like the mic. But clumsy, not because the delivery, the experience of performing. So I'd be talking, and I realizing the mic, I wouldn't realize, because I'd say the thing, and then like, you can't fucking hear me, can you? So, and then I realized, and okay, I turn it into a joke, but it's not good anyway. You don't just fucking pull your mic away and go, I don't know, and they're like, what? And like, oh, I forgot.
They can probably they knew you were a first time, right? So
to be fair,
be
I think one big advantage that I have until today is that I think I'm very transparent and raw in even my approach and build up. So that is something that has helped me throughout. Even when I do TV, guest things and etc. Like now, I know shame or no, I don't think it's something to be ashamed about, but it's because I think I approach it with such no fucks given in the sense that they know where I'm coming from. So I think the very first one, 2015, I forgot my script completely blank. I didn't. Now someone else might get either fuck off stage, either get booked. I think what it was my body language, because I join you and I'm part of, and what I find myself funny, which is weird, but anyway, but it's true. So I just
can't entertain yourself, you can't entertain anyone else.
And I stopped like this. I'll never forget. I once I put up a clip and I just go. And I wasn't joking. I was like, and they realized, so they started giggling. I was like, I think I forgot my script.
So you went back to check?
No, I just said like this. I stopped. I went. I was like, all right. So I just walked to the side. I go, you should not.
And you have, like you said you've got the no fucks given approach. So after the show, right? You know that there were these little moments of f-ups, right? Or whatever, stumbles, right?
You just said no fucks given and you said f-ups. You might as well say the word, man. Just say the word, right?
Yeah, but that's how he carries his spot on.
Right? And so there was no point like self-consciousness, and
no, let me tell you why.
Thinking
because
to yourself that, wow, is this worth it? I mean, because I'll give you an example. We did the first episode of this podcast, right? And for me, it was. I'm not a natural behind the microphone, behind the camera, whatever. Right?
Even though you're so beautiful.
Exactly, and you have a very sexy voice.
And then he starts giving me these unnecessary compliments that just make me anxious and awkward and right
on the spot.
And I remember
you're wonderful behind the camera,
and I'm just like anyway. And I just went home, overthought everything, called him up, and I said, "Listen, Oz, man, like this really didn't go well for me."
Look, Andrew, I said this recently. I was on, which will be aired later on, but I've said it before, and I stand by it, and I'll even tattoo it, I think, one day. Do it for you. And if someone wants to join the fucking ride, let them join the ride. If you have 7 episodes with fucking 5 listeners on your fucking podcast. Who gives a shit? You're making 5 people happy.
There you go.
I always say that.
Amen, brother. Amen.
No, I always
Hallelujah.
I always said it.
That's
There's some
everything.
amening right now. Because for a day. You can't say amen, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mike.
Whatever.
Okay. No, but I always said this. In a room of 10 people, make 1 fucking person laugh and it's good. You've met. In a room of 20, make 4 and go up in ratio. If in a room of 100 and make 1 laugh, that's awkward. But it's a matter of no. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you can't just do it. Whatever you do, I always said it. If I do last year, I decided to do something for the kids, the stand up for the kids. I swear to you, I did it because I promised Kate.
How sweet.
With nothing else in my mind. Nothing else. I didn't think if I would sell tickets. I said, you know what, I promised you I'll do a stand-up for kids. I fucking got right. I think I booked this thing and I saw 200 kids came there.
Wow.
Driving my fucking mind in. But anyway, I managed
I
that.
can imagine, man.
Yeah,
My
but
God.
kids are
like
kids.
being-
You managed to censor yourself as well.
What was the
No,
age of the
course, it was
kids?
7 to 12. No, it was clean completely.
wow.
I just did one part where I did roasting Peppa Pig, like generally roasting. I think I left, the kids went home saying, what the fuck did you just say? But anyway, because I had parents going, thanks, Kev, for the Peppa Pig too. Anyway, because they didn't like Peppa Pig either. That's why I used
There you
it.
go.
Um,
The parents appreciate
No,
it.
they said thanks for that.
The kids were scarred for life, but the
So-
parents appreciate it.
So it's just a matter of, I think people are, look, I mean, I get, for example, very strong feedback. I found the bridge to a certain audience, which was TikTok. And again, people go, put up more. The problem, I think, which I think you're both very well aware because you're very much into this, the psychological approach to life and everything. It's a problem that people do things for people. For acknowledgement, for like my post. And you're going to tell me, don't you like it? And so, yes, of course it's nice. But I don't do it for that. I don't care. I put up a joke recently, forget about it. It's so fucking stupid. Forget what the fuck.
I saw
That's
it.
fine. But I swear to you that I thought it.
Yeah.
I was part of it. I just fucking wrote and posted with no extra thoughts of, is this post good? I made 18 people react with an emoji with laughing, meaning I made 18 people laugh.
But that's a special gift you have, though.
Yeah,
You
but,
realise that,
it's
that
just
a lot
a-
of people take it so much more seriously. It's what their life revolves around.
I
right?
take it seriously, making sure I do it well. In the sense of my stand-up, I'm referring to. Like, I
Yeah.
know I want to make sure. But like these moments, like TikToks, I used to do the thing of the Charles Good Afternoon Office of the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
20,000, 30,000 views. I've been 3 months not putting up one. And
Yeah.
you're like, don't you lose? When
it's
I
there,
feel
it's
like
there.
I'll put
Yeah,
one up,
yeah,
and
so-
I'm not going to go, I have to go home and forget about it. No, forget
about
it.
it,
I will
yeah.
never, I can't become, when you become a slave to the, to the likes or to the person
attention.
judging.
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok recently I received Shudway so obviously thankfully I received hundreds of positive ones of my stand-up clips, and then you find these troll, these fun.
Have you had any serious abuse come your way?
No. Yeah, when I put up a clip of my daughter, myself, of the crane episode, I don't know if Hog remembers, 2018, it was just before, but it helped me, but I got that negative and I threw it in my stand-up, which was at
Okay.
MCC.
Yeah,
But wait, I got on my mobile and I read out
Wow.
these comments from these
Yeah.
people, by the way, people. You know what I mean?
Dicks.
So,
Dicks. You should say dicks.
cunts is what we're going for. We can use that word. But it was I done a video.
Our first cut on the
Hey! And it's because I was It's because of Listen, it's because of Jim Jeffries yesterday. He said cunt about 100 times.
was a rule. We had a rule.
We had one
No,
rule.
cunt.
We had
Not the
a
C
rule.
word.
Yes, I broke it. I'm so proud. I didn't know. I promise I didn't know.
I have to say it now too, cunt.
Yes.
I feel so much better.
A whole lot of cunts.
I can sleep again.
Okay, yeah, come on. We were doing well.
Tell me, I saw one of your shows, and there was your father-in-law.
Yes,
in-
speaking about sex, he was watched every show of mine, even the last one. Where I
Right.
spoke, I spoke about
And
about
he's
sexual
alright,
things and his I don't know. Let's say we never spoke about
around the dinner table.
No, he knows.
So
He's
now
a
you have to
fan
make
of-
a point to ask him.
No, he's a fan.
Father-in-law, how do you feel
Like
when I
when
say
you-
these
when
sex jokes about me and your daughter?
No, it's first of all he loves my comedy, which is cool, and he understands comedy is comedy. At least he has that understanding to it. But you mentioned of nasty comments. It was the only time when again I don't want to get into it because it's I put up an innocent, I remember, video with my daughter Kate. She was 6 at the time, 5, 6. Saying that, Mr. Prime Minister, there are a lot of cranes. It was so random, it was sweet. It wasn't even political, it was because I don't do it. It was sweet. And Stanley just was turned into this, and on nuts, on all these platforms, headline, local community, local art. I was like, what are you? I said, oh, fuck it, it's fine. I go, there's nothing, it was all okay. And I don't know why this thing I had told my wife, it was really weird. You know what it is? I don't know, it was a father, like a radar thing. And I remember there was a comment, which was fine, but I saw shares in that comment. I just said, let me just check it out. Now there were others with shares. And I just checked this, I'll never forget, just this particular one. And within his share, or another share, so it was a second, I saw some, and I just shifted, and I took it all down, and I got it all down from everywhere basically, which was fine because they were very respectful. But I was like, I didn't even reply to the person. I don't need to, as if I care.
I have to get something off my chest now. It's been bugging me for a long time. I can't stand how media makes a story out of somebody's fucking social media post. How can that be allowed? First and foremost, it really bothers me.
Because depends where you would have.
Yeah, it's obviously on an open platform.
If it's a social media, they can. What you can't do is, they can and they do it, but they can, like, in a nutshell, I can tell you, what happened was, you can tell the different approach of the media. So I remember Love in Malta, like I mentioned, was fine. Heartwarming or something like that. Sweet moment between local comedian and daughter. That's what the headline was.
Yeah.
They didn't write anything else. Gadgets had wrote something non-political, whatever. Suddenly, as we do, Nation, and just put up
that look.
emojis. Taf xanda tajd it-tifla.
Oh my God.
When you say that
So
on a
cheap.
political channel,
So
you're basically asking, and on the Nation, then Sharabank phone me up. Please come on. I was like, come on, Tim, what the fuck is wrong with
because
you?
you posted this video.
And it was, I found it funny because I remember from Shara when they called, I was like, yeah, no, what are you doing? I was going to come to speak about, I don't care what people are saying.
It's ridiculous the amount of people that jump to the defense of, because
There was,
come on.
not only first, it was obviously because of the, one side was, she's right, then you start saying, Papagala, issa eja itimaw it-tifel ta. I just said this, I found it hilarious. I got all that and I threw it on my...
But another thing, how many people literally have time to sit
Thousands.
and, how many, and just chuck?
You know how many views I got before I turned it down?
Kev,
Before I pulled it down.
Kev.
Over 60,000 views in a matter of hours.
Wow.
But shares, you had to see the shares and the comments were just infinite. Like friends sending me, you're on platform. I was like, what did I do?
How the hell did you get there?
It was amazing. That answers your question. It's a matter.
Man. I mean, it's happened to me a few times in the past where they've done that, and my feeling is you don't want to just respect me and ask if it's okay.
No.
They
To be
just
fair,
go
one
straight for it,
person had a decent
cheap
approach.
Sorry, but it's cheap German.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to be fair though.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. I'm not far from standing up and far from it.
Yeah.
It's around the world.
No, it's not a Maltese thing.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's
everywhere. It's worse in other places.
Exactly.
Much
and now
worse.
worse than ever that gets anything and just turn it into. Look, media has become so sadly a priority, which is very scary because media controls what we think, it's like feed here, eat, like the COVID thing. I said it in my last stand-up. It was, which I still have to put up the clip. It's like eat, COVID. It's COVID for now. What's that?
Yeah.
They're bored of the okay, war. let's that's how it is. It's just that's what they do. They feed until they. Think about it. The irony, because I said it in the stand-up. COVID wasn't over, and yet because the media just went.
Yeah, that's it.
We were like, no, COVID's still here. Just to let you all know, it's completely still here. People are still getting positive. It's here. It's nothing has changed really. It's just, but because the media just worldwide, we had enough. The economy suffered enough. Health issues we're good. Move on.
In all fairness, it kind of felt like it was over then, though, didn't it? That's how much the media controls everything, right? It really felt like it was over.
Yeah.
It 100%, and people believe it is, because the media doesn't feed any
But
negative.
it's still not over, is it?
Of course it's not. It'll
China's
never be.
still
It's just
having
like,
big problems.
of course they do, man. Of course they do. That's the beauty of it. But I didn't know until you told me, for example,
Yeah.
of China.
Did
So-
you get all? And this is a question for both of you. Did you get all hyped up in the seriousness of what COVID was? Did you think it was? What's the best way to put this? Overinflated at all?
Yeah.
Opinions. Come on, let's thrash it out,
Let's see what
guys.
Hawk has to say.
Come on, let's see.
He's
tell
the
us what-
clever one out of the two
Andrew.
of us.
Am I?
Between me and you,
So
for sure.
so I liked the intensity of the situation from the immature individual that I can be. I like the mystery about it in the beginning.
Interesting.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Seriously, like even going to the supermarket, it was like we're
I
going
know
and the
what you mean.
zombies are about to attack us.
Exactly.
I swear to God,
And you like that?
I really did.
No, I
really
get him. I know what he means.
I like the danger of being out in public kind of thing, like because in our mind you're outside. Oh my God, danger! You know, and you're going to bring the food back home for your family, and it's.
No, there's a real feel to it. I get it.
He must be one of these guys who says,
Honestly.
"Listen, Andrew, how about a game of Russian roulette? Yeah, fuck it, come on, bring it on. Where's the gun? Let's give it. I'll just do 2 clicks. Whatever happens, happens."
Fuck it, put 2 bullets in! That's no longer Russian roulette, it's soon! Yeah! Fuck it! Fill it up!
that's
Okay,
classic.
let's backtrack. But yeah, I did understand.
But I know what you mean,
obviously,
yeah.
I understood the seriousness about it. It became a bit comical when the whole vaccine debates started happening. But of course, I still think that it's among us, and I don't know. We just. As I believe we should have done previously.
I
We should have-
think, look, there are so many literally endless opinions you can give at conspiracy. So it's tiring. It's fun to get into, but obviously time as a
But
essence.
it was fun for a while.
It was fun for a while, exactly. I think the main thing that was the problem is that and this I joke about it, Ricky Gervais, who I know you know, and I think you like, if I'm guessing right.
Love it.
We are just not a bright species.
It's so true.
It's amazing. He said, Ricky Gervais, of the Bleach, I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yeah. So
If that is not pure genius comedy, when he goes, referendum, no. Let's remove the do not drink on all bleach bottles around the world. 2 years! And then we have a referendum. Let's just see what happens in those 2 years.
yeah.
Because we're gullible, we're sheep. So what do you do? Oh, okay.
I mean, you've got the most powerful person in the world at that time, Trump.
I think
Right?
what Trump did was all in order. So I think build a wall, it's no problem.
Telling
I
people
loved
to
watching your
inject
Trump
themselves,
clips, by the way.
telling people to inject themselves with bleach. I think.
Yes! Yes! Because
Jesus.
this is amazing! It's beautiful!
That is such a signal for where we are as a humanity today.
And then let's be honest,
was allowed to lead
the
that
mess
nation.
that was going on in Malta with regards to children at schools with masks for such a long time, and then you have these political rallies where everyone doesn't give a
I don't know.
freaking shit.
Look,
Right?
there was so much wrong that you can list in that time, and the moment that I
There
think
was so
kids were
much
affected was a
stupid.
real fucking
There
bitch
was
in the
so
ass.
much stupid.
Hence the stupid species. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I-
just mentioned this guy was leading the biggest and most powerful country in the world.
I said that.
Imagine that. Like,
What is that?
Trump's
I
a
said-
fucking idiot,
Yeah,
right?
you said that.
Yeah.
You're fired. Fuck you.
You fired. You fired. Oh man. Oh, we could probably get into politics forever, but what a boring subject.
I know it is. But I think there's a little. It's a thin line, a very fine line between boring and amusing.
True.
Amusing because that we
it
is true.
actually, but not we. I know, but majority.
Yeah.
Just pray these figures that no matter what wrong they do, if you ever believe. I mean, what happened recently, prison thingy, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing?
Seriously.
Nothing's gonna happen about it.
Who are the people that allow this stuff? Have you at least been to school? Have you at least like?
I don't know. I just find it amazing.
Do you have
That's
a
what I mean
brain
by-
cell?
But that's
One.
what I mean. But that's what I mean by a fine line. Because I kind of see the amusing side of it, that we're going, what is happening? And yet, Yet, give 3, 4, 5 days, fizzles out another news bit, and that's forgotten. And the guy got out, enjoyed his party, did what he had to do, you know what I mean? And then went home. What, too much?
No, absolutely not.
And then went back in his fucking cell. Why is his son is posting, what are we doing?
Not even the half stupid.
What are we doing? You see, so bleach it out, man. Just bleach everyone.
Oh man,
No.
I tell you, I have some thoughts. I won't give them honestly
I think
because
we
it's
sh- I
way
don't
too
know.
much. But yeah.
Okay, Kev. So, Mike, come on, Nahin.
Yeah.
It's the first hour plus the intro.
All right, man.
All right. So
Let's go.
we're gonna
We're on
move
about
on.
1 hour
So
13.
you're gonna do your.
So, Kev.
Here we go.
Your biggest triumph, your biggest success so far.
Coming on this podcast.
Keeping my family together, I think, overall.
Well, that's a big one, yeah.
Because I think that's the very hard
big
thing to
one,
do with, because that answer, I believe, puts all the struggles at one focal point, meaning to do all I do on the side and through the struggles of my wife during COVID, losing what have you, work and this and the house, a lot of things. I think my success now, I would say that I managed to keep that, because many just go, you know what, you know, fuck this shit.
Too hard.
Friends we were, friends we are. What? Friends, I don't know how to translate it, you know what I mean?
Yes, we get the
Friends
point.
we were, friends we remain.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would say now, because this question was never asked to me, so I know people might go, it's not you know, the comedy side or the entertainment. No, I think that's.
So I think it's a brilliant, honest answer. I love it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to hear it. I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Very-
amazing.
And on the flip side?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thanks. On the flip side, your biggest difficult time, your biggest failure.
My biggest failure, I think, would be. I would say, I don't know if it's I feel it as a failure or regret that I didn't take more care of finance when I was younger, because obviously, you know, the financial revenue I thankfully, you know, would be making through show 1, show 2, show 3 on the side and work, and overall, I never saw like the like. I
The
never
big
saw it full.
picture.
I was like, look, fine. It was always like, okay, here and look, here was, yeah. Not boring because of that, but like, you know, like banks, you know, no, that's just, but yeah, but then I got my house in the end, kind of thing, which was something I wished for. But I think failure, I would say, I honestly, a specific failure, I wouldn't, because I always approach with not giving a fuck about failing. So I
But
wouldn't
you
say.
don't come across to me as someone like who's overly thoughtful about the financial side of life. Like for me,
Clearly, I
life
wasn't
means-
based on my answer.
to me.
Now I am.
and I know you. I know you quite a bit. Like life is so much more
Now,
meaningful
yeah,
than
no. I wouldn't. For example, if I have an extra 400 euro, I'd say, okay, let's go to Brussels to Mark and Tanya, our best
So
friends.
why
over
did you
there.
tell me last week that you can't go skiing with me?
Because I can't. I
Come on,
can't.
skiing is so cheap.
Read between the lines, Andrew. He fucking doesn't like you, alright?
No. I wish I said yes. Because I missed out last December, but I told you why. Because December I have the big one planned,
Yeah.
so I'm picking up for that. Lapland. So yeah, another promise I made for my fucking kid.
Good for you for keeping it. Yeah.
No. If I promise it, it's done. So I think the failure part, I think it's something that even if I had to pass on a message, if it helps at all, I think you shouldn't I think it's okay first of all to make mistakes, because how can I say that doesn't work? So just fucking go for it. If you fail, you fail. If it succeeds, then it will fucking succeed. So I wouldn't say I have a specific failure, no, to be honest.
Did you? What sort of lessons have you learned through your work life, your entertainment life, that you can sort of pass on to people and say, you know, this is how I sort of got to where I am now?
I think back on what I mentioned before, which I think would be, well, it's my motto at least, but of the do for you. I think that's the
I really
Such
like
a
that.
good message.
I really like that.
Such a
just
good
do it for you, because and then when the time will come, and that it happens, for example, that's a common thing. Okay, after a big show, you get a big slump. Okay, for the more passionate, creative, maybe it happens a bit more, because believe me, I have my own demons to deal with.
Oh, we're going to talk about that, don't we?
So I think
We don't have enough time.
the just do it for you. Whatever it is. I'm not saying about entertainment. Whatever it is, you want to. I used to joke with my daughter. Taking her to school, I used to tell her, Kate, and she said, "What? You know, kids, these fools fucking promise. Oh, astronaut. I look at her, I go, you're not going on the moon ever. But why are you telling me that? Because you're not going to become an astronaut. How?
Do we even know if the moon is real? First of all, I mean, come on.
But no, I mean, I used to do it to jokes, but she gets it, and she's she's good scholastic. But you know what I mean. How many astronauts are there? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I said, I go, be whatever.
All right, Mike. We have a producer down.
Don't be that.
We have a producer down. You got to lay up those beers, mate. Look what's happening, Mike.
Sponsorship for a chair, please.
And I think I used to tell her, like, if it's whatever it is, if it's I mean, I used to give it just for in context as an example. I said, if collecting garbage, like, you know, the litter, is what you, it's just the lowest, not low, it's like a bottom of the chain example, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do that. If that's what you want to do and you do it best and you love it, do that. And then, you know, just try and do something that then will give you, provide you a decent life, I guess. But that too, if you want to fucking pack up and go backpacking, go fucking backpacking.
Good advice.
You know,
Right.
so that's...
I think, I don't know about you, but for me, entertainment never would have allowed me to financially live the life I
Alone,
wanted to
as
live.
if, yeah.
Impossible, right?
It's not even a...
I obviously went into the recruitment business in the end.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Now I have a small boutique company, which is doing okay, but I would have loved the opportunity to do entertainment full time. You were the same boat, right? Yeah.
It wouldn't be stand-up ultra because again, it's hard.
It's a tough gig, isn't it? Yeah.
It's tough. So far, so good, but it's tough no matter what. So the mental state, and I know how I am with my wife during the build-up too.
Tell us a bit
A
about
bastard.
No, just I'm not easy in the sense for I'd always take feedback, building up to it, but I'm not good at showing that I am.
Okay.
So I'd be like, fucking hell, why did you fucking... And she'd be like, you say can't do it. I'm like, Madonna, it was good. And she'd be like, fuck, why did you ask me? But then like she'd walk off and I'm like, fuck, it was good, what she told me. So I just get, because I'm so... To be honest, it comes from that angle of saying, if I think it's okay, and if I go with it, I'll go with it. Like once I was asked, I was proposed that someone would write for me. I was like, what?
What?
No.
Someone would write for me. I was like, no, fuck it, not even. And it could be fucking Ricky Gervais telling me I'll write for you. Forget it, because I write what I feel. And I always say this. Once there was this good upcoming, and he told me, can I read you the script? No hard feeling, no big deal. Here, one of the ones who opened up, a good friend, Ed Fasala, told me, can I tell you about the script that I'm gonna do for the opening? I was like, no. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, no. If you like it and you think it's good, fucking deliver it. If it's a weak joke, show it's a weak joke. Say it's a weak joke.
Yeah.
And he just took it on so positively and so really nicely. And he told me like, so you don't need to. I was like, no. But I'm opening I'm opening for, I was like, so who gives a shit? You do your thing.
Yeah.
And do it. Right? Just fucking do whatever you do. Just do
Super
you,
advice,
basically.
So what, like, in your mind, how far can you take this? What does the future hold for you?
I've been off. I mean, I don't even have an agent, which is amazing. When someone goes, "What?" And I know others have. And look, I think my priority is my family. So if I know there was a thought of taking the special I just did, which is I have something to say, which I think is my best written material, I would say, and maybe there's another one, but and take it to Brussels because I have contacts over there who is a big fan of what I do, and do it for the Brussels community, which is very strong in comedy.
Good step there, right?
And maybe film for a Netflix, but film in the sense you have to film it and risk that they go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But when you film for Netflix, it doesn't come to €2,800 like I got, like for example.
Okay.
It's a lot more because you have a lot of requirements. I think about 6 different
Camera
angles.
angles,
There's the 4K, and then there's the handheld one.
There's a certain level of
It's
production
a different
that needs
level.
to be
It's a
done.
different level, and it's not a matter of how good you are. It's not. I strongly believe from the feedback I got. When I got the feedback from Go Talkies, who took on the special to air it, the feedback was phenomenal. Thankfully, But it wasn't filmed for Netflix. When I look at it, it's good. It's really good. But then when you watch a Netflix, I just watched Trevor Noah recently, and I watched Jim Jeffries yesterday. And it's a different ball game. Joe Coy had the first 2 specials turned down.
Oh, I love him.
For me, it's number 1 in my opinion.
So
now.
good.
I know Louis C.K. remains 1, but but first 2 got turned down. And then after the 3rd one, and they took on the 3rd, then they took on the 1st and the 2nd. So they paid him for it.
Yeah.
But first 2 he paid from his own money. Andrew Schultz, fucking self-funded. Didn't even go on Netflix because of the cancel culture shit. And he went full on YouTube and made millions.
Yeah.
Because he did his own thing. That's a case in point. Andrew Schultz he just was so confident that he could do what he could do. And he went full on YouTube. Subscribe, and people just did.
I really hope it happens for you, man. I mean, whatever, as you said, just do you. Whatever happens will happen, right?
No, I said, look, I mean, abroad is always the thing. But abroad...
will you have regrets if you don't do it?
No, because I know I didn't do it because I didn't do it.
Yeah, okay.
Not because I didn't manage.
By choice, yeah.
No, by choice, because
By
I
choice,
said,
by choice.
if I say...
But like even I go back to you starting generally. Like, I mean, I don't know many people who have the balls to stand up on stage and try to make people laugh. And there are so many people in the world who sit down scrolling on their phone and dream of this more special life, right? But unless you go out there, put yourself out and just actually take action and do, you can dream all you want. It's not going to happen.
No, that's why I said for whatever it is.
And that's what you did. You went, you put yourself... The first one was difficult. The first one you struggled, but you maintained, and like, look where you are today.
For sure. I remember the second one, Nothing to Hide, 2017. Laura was just born. She was a few months old. And I opened up, because I was so unprepared in script-wise. And the script was actually a pretty solid one. And I said this joke. This is where I was at. My house being built in Nashar. I was living in measly, in a fucking small house from here to you. Like I could make toast while taking a crap, basically. And I remember leaving to a stand-up. Leaving to a concert in front of 250 people. A blue box. Changing a fucking nappy with shit of my little one. Just left the house with the smell of shit in my mouth. I'm going to perform, and the stars abroad will be having. You know what I mean? Just like behind the scenes, a bit more fun, basically.
Getting blowjobs.
Just basically, you said it, not I.
My people love really.
Yes, but I remember I arrived on this. I'll never forget, and I walked out, and I was so. But that's what I mean by the rawness of, and people. I think it's the honesty, the honest approach of. Apart from the script, thankfully, which is always. I just walked out and I said this, and I said, look, give me a second.
So you don't have a bit of a preparation routine kind of thing before you go out?
No, script.
But how do you manage that? Like,
because if I have the preparation, then I won't have your improv moments of when I would go like or like something and I go.
No, I don't. No, hold on. But what I'm saying is like
a script. I have, of course.
No, granted. But before, when you have a few moments, backstage to maybe calm your nerves, a bit of breathing techniques,
beers,
something like that.
That's what you're going for.
Beers.
What beers?
I'll take 12 in each one of my. I think I do.
Okay. What, before you go out?
No, before 4 or 5.
Really? Okay.
It's just, but it's.
Do you lose any sharpness with that? Or?
No.
I
think
remember him on the piss.
You probably lose some inhibitions.
It's not. It wouldn't be. Look, I have to be honest. When I'm there, it's ironic because I am just. It's weirdly relaxed. I'll be like this kind of thing. So I'll be just now. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
It will be the weeks prior of the whole build up, and will you sell enough? Will you not the financial side? Like will you get enough people?
Will you fill it out? Yeah.
Then you start the script. I have to memorize it, but then I have work. The start you mentioned about going abroad and everything. How nice it would be if that was just my job. I'd go home and I'd stay reading through my script.
So basically, to remember your script is just over and over and over and over again.
That's something I told Ray Caleo, who's probably would be swearing if he hears me again, because he told me, so how do you rehearse in front of the mirror? And I was like, rehearse what? And I swear to God, as soon as I said rehearse what, he looked at me and goes, huh?
It's like,
I was like, rehearse what? He told me, you're stand up. The delivery. I was like, no, the joke, the script. There's the joke. Like the yabba dabba do of Flintstone. Like, don't ask me to deliver how to shoot it out there on the spot. It will come to me.
You don't have like a teleprompter that I don't know.
Just tell her what.
Yes,
That-
yes.
Yes,
For the
you
script,
see.
you mean?
You have a teleprompter, really? Is that how it
No,
works?
for the latest one I did, the Batman.
Ah, okay, so
it
it
was
like
on the side.
gives you sort of the.
No, just the key, the first
Exactly,
line.
the keywords.
Okay.
Literally. And I would look at it maybe.
I thought it was like you'd be looking at the. So this we
No,
went down
no,
to the
no.
park.
I gave a speech not too long ago in front in summer at the bulletproof
I
thing.
saw you on Instagram. Yeah. Was
And-
that on
and it
Instagram? That one?
literally-
It was, no?
It was literally 3 minute speech, and I was there with my freaking.
No, look, listen, I've learned this. It's okay. It's a matter of how then you embrace that. The worst thing you can do is pretend you don't have a script.
Exactly.
And I've seen it, and I know who's on TV and does it, and I'm like, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
or at
It's
least,
real, right? Yeah.
or at least, just fucking twist a little bit, change a word. And
And I was sorry,
No,
I was so I wasn't so nervous, but actually to be.
And you had a teleprompter there? Or?
No, hold on. That day, actually, I was on. You remember I was saying I was a bit unwell with the whole
Yeah,
teeth
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and I was on steroids.
Yeah.
Not the muscle steroids, the steroids to get me better.
We all know it's not
and
the
they
muscle steroids,
really
yeah.
affected my mood, like, and they gave me Sheba anxiety
You got the
palpitations,
shivers?
and I went up on stage, and I was like, but this isn't normal. Usually I'm nervous, but not this nervous.
But
And
how
I
was it?
literally had to read my name and what I did, and
That was
I
it?
read everything. No, but
But you had to read it, word for word.
I read it word for word.
no, let me give you an example
I
of
was
that
messed up.
moment. For example, I know, but this keeping it within what we're saying because I think it's quite helpful. If that happened to me, this would be my advice, and I swear to you, if that happened to me, I would have said it all.
You'd have
100%.
you would have said that you were nervous.
I'm nervous that I'm on steroids because of my thing. So you know what? Just give me some patience. I'm gonna read it out today. And you've gained them.
for sure,
They're
for
gonna
sure,
be
for
like,
sure.
this fucking guy needs our support now.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you
yes,
don't,
absolutely.
it's gonna be like.
It's very much like a preemptive strike, right?
Just fucking. When I did this thing, it's coming back exactly what you're saying of the kid thing of the napping.
Yeah.
And I arrived, and I had no time. As I repeat, she had just been born. It was like it's time to
Crazy
go
times,
over
yeah.
my script. And I remember my script was all like folded in my back pocket. I'll never forget. I walked out and I started. So the intro was fine, and I said something that I said. I promised my daughter Kate that I'm going to say this joke. I said this lame joke, but that was part of the, And I'm like, okay, good. Now then I don't know what happened. I don't know at one point, not because I forgot the script. I was like, I kind of like stalled. Not that I forgot the script, the flow of the script, like topic wise, and I just stopped. I put my microphone back in. I went, you know what? Fuck you all, fuck you. Like that. So they took that approach. I was like, you know what? Fucking. And I was doing this whole like this panicky thing, like yeah, my fucking script, yes, because I had no time to do anything. I came here and I said what I had, what happened to me of the nappy thing, like
Nice.
So it was just there, and I was like, I barely looked at it, but then it was there.
Yeah.
So if I did, they wouldn't go, is Kevin looking at the script?
Yeah. That's good, man. That's a good way to put
So that case in point would be, like Andrew said, I would have said, if you're feeling it, fucking just say, and you know where that comes from, where people don't do that? Because you're thinking of what will they think. Fuck you. I'm here, not you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always been, you probably hear it anyway, even when I'm just in person, I've always been that way. What you see is what you get. What's on my mind, I say. Simple as that. Obviously being on radio, I had to curtail it a little bit and be a little bit careful, but I'm like you, if I fuck up, I say it. No
course.
worries whatsoever.
What's the big deal? Unless you're doing one industry, I believe, in entertainment, is where you can't get away with it. It's theatre.
Yeah.
But again, like imagine you're doing, I don't know.
Depends on the type of theatre as well. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not comedy-wise, but
Yeah.
like imagine it's a proper theatre, who I respect immensely. I don't like theatre acting because that's not, but I respect immensely. But you can't really fuck it up, because if you fuck up a line, this is how the script is of this whole a film on the movie. Fuck up. If the director likes it and you're a good actor, you're gonna go and you're gonna go along with it, and the other director will go like, "Hey, what the fuck's your problem?" And you're like, they're doing something with it. Cool, let it go. Theatre, you can't. It's difficult. I did theatre once, and I know how hard it is, to be fair. Because again, if you forgot it, you have someone on the side sometimes going, and you're like, awkwardly going, fuck you saying right now? So I started to just once, and the actor, who was very good, very quick, and tachlis in under the tongue, said like, you just have to say and I said it. But it was so obvious that I look back, I'm like, I really think people realize what just happened. Very clear that you spoke to while you were on the sofa.
Nobody noticed the thing, I can assure you.
But again, thankfully it was like a humor, it was a comedy kind of thing. So, yeah, I think with that approach, I think it helps a lot. And if many people start understanding that you do you for you, I think it will take off a lot of, it will take off a lot of, I think, pressure. I think that's the word.
I agree with you. We always like to end the podcast with a little bit of a chat surrounding mental health. I've been quite vocal about the issues that I've had with mental health, especially over the past 5 years. So I wanted to
I want that? Without getting into too much detail.
No, I don't mind detail at all. You can ask me anything you want. Yeah, it's a work in progress always, the reality of the situation is now I work very hard at it, plus I'm on quite a decent amount of medication and it's under control.
Okay, good. And this helps, this podcast? I would say yes. Or helping, sorry.
I got worse as soon as the show ended for me, the radio show. I got it worse immediately, and it lasted for a couple of years, that worst stage. I need to be able to vent, I need to be able to perform, I need to be able to speak. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. So it's clearly me performing, me doing something. It's a tool for me to be better also, which I really, really enjoy. But yes, the reality is I need to have the medication. I was go back 13 months ago, I was struggling hard.
All right.
Every day was like really too difficult. Thankfully.
Kind of, shall I wake up the next day kind of thing?
I never, I can be honest about it, I never actually considered committing suicide, but I completely understood why someone would. Okay, if that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. More than you can imagine.
The thought of closing my eyes and them not opening again.
Exactly.
I imagined that. So how peaceful,
getting out of bed is
how
a struggle
peaceful that would be. Yeah,
right.
It was a struggle. It was a very big struggle. But I'm dealing with it. I'm going through the motions. A lot of therapy, medications. I don't particularly like the fact that I'm on medication, but where I was 13 months ago to where I am now, it's you have to say it's a great support tool that I'm using at the moment. So
as long as it's controlled.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we wanted to sort of discuss with you, Kev. Have you ever had any issues surrounding, your own mental health? Have you had any difficult periods? Have you ever sought any help? Give us a bit of insight to your exposure sort of thing.
I think, ironically, it's been a long time coming that I wanted to actually, I could have done a whole podcast on this because it's something that I never expressed in public, in a sense. The difficulty is when people have a perception and that's all they think exists, which is very much not the case. I gave a little insight at the beginning of the podcast when you mentioned about my childhood, which was full of love with my siblings and fun and friends, like wow. But it's not a nice thing to not be welcomed by your father.
Of course.
It's absolutely not. Better not there than there and not.
Yeah, and it has an impact, right?
But you know what I mean. Of course it did. It had a huge impact growing up.
Continually? Does it still have an impact?
The does part is now for me personally, it's more a sorrowful side of thing, not pain.
Yeah.
Because for example, I say sometimes I get the moments when I go, if I wouldn't think of him, which I don't, kind of thing. I'm like, he could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then that feeling gets me like, ouch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like I don't know. He's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't. That is the part now. It's before it was like I mentioned. Before it was like anger, pain, and all that. What the fuck? And I used to, which is why my wife supported me very much with it because I tried. So there were periods when I would say, I told my wife, let me try, let me fucking find common grounds, and there were none. I mean, there were, but he didn't open it to it. And then one fallout after the other, which are certain things you can't forget, forgive. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to be what do you call it?
Hypocrite.
This crap of no, you should forget. You know what? Sometimes you don't fucking forgive.
Yeah.
And it's not a matter of closure because I forgave I forgave the moment, but I'm not going to say it was okay.
Yeah.
Don't fucking think before someone needs to do certain things. You just have to go, okay, I can't cross that line.
Yeah.
And there was a specific moment which was in recent history, which is like the line was crossed, and I was like, okay, now it's, you know, I mean, what did they try to reach out? I guess, but for me, then it's done. And I think it's more, I think when I look at everything, I would say, and this question was only asked to me similarly once with my therapy, when I had gone to therapy, whatever you call it, psychotherapy, I don't know.
Therapy.
I think that was the only dark hole in my, I would say, I can't think of anything else because friends, I've had at every angle I looked, literally. There was an immense financial crisis I had during COVID, which I think I mentioned to you, the Bachelors of Jewry, was because I mentioned we had a house and then my wife lost her job and they didn't give us the extension of the loan. It was like when they could have because I was
Very
supporting it just the same.
yeah.
And we just went, what? I have to pay $4,000 for my own pocket. What? And that's why I told you that's the thing I'm proudest of. That I
Kept everything together.
and whilst doing fucking 3 other I think it's on the you know, I did the thing at Chaka's of the 6 nights with the guests. I was like, I kept on going. So but I think if you had to tell me which gave it the hardest struggle was, I think would boil down to that. I think it would be the father thing.
You said you did some therapy as well. How did you find it?
I found a lot of closure in it.
Good. That's
A
great. man.
lot of, not only with the father thing, with the business thing, which I have noticed. Thankfully with my brothers, it's all, but it was like a cancer to me. It was just eating away, and it's like a crack and a crack and a crack and a crack. I'm like, okay, we need to fix this crack. Ah shit, okay, another crack. Look, what the fuck? And like, because it's, I am not a comfort zone person. I'm just not in the comfort zone in the sense like, but if I leave, I won't have who gives a fuck. I'll create my own. That. So, you know, I had pushed my wife to leave her comfort zone after a lot of years, and then COVID kicked in. So but I thought, look, you keep on going and a little bit, and she'll be fine. She's a makeup artist. So, same with me. I wouldn't, and I think that therapy made me understand that I just have to do it now. I just have to say, look, guys, you know, I love you very much, my brothers, and they know.
Yeah.
I was like, let me go, man. Just let me fuck off.
Yeah.
And I did, and it changed a lot of things. It changed my relationship one-to-one with them, meeting up with them, because I see them all the time at the office, doom and gloom. Not in our work. Our work was good. Our work was fine.
Yeah.
But just us, was like, in a week, I wouldn't say
Becomes
2
toxic.
words. Understatement.
Yeah.
But not because there's something wrong, because it was just blah. Just blah. Simple as that. Blah. So what happened was, then I wouldn't seek out my brother and say, coming over for a beer.
Yeah,
the fuck? No fucking way. Like, because I'd leave there and I'd want to leave it there.
Yeah.
Now it's not there. So coming for a beer.
Yeah.
Now it's there.
Yeah.
So it changed. I think that the therapy gave me closure and also helped with my marriage and overall certain things that needed fixing.
So I know you as like the master of happy. Are you happy?
Yes, right, very much. My life overall couldn't be. I mean, right now, if you had to tell me couldn't be happy, I think anyone that says that is a cunt. because you can't.
Produce a mic.
No, let me tell you why. Sorry, because I'll explain it. No one can say, "Oh, I couldn't be happier." No. I could be happier right now, for example, if the nice bucket drops. Not because money buys happiness is not the point.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned before the financial thing, which I know, just drops and I go like, done, and we're good. And you have the standard loan, which is fine. So I can't say I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
With my wife and kids, do we have the struggles? I wouldn't still be. I think if you have an approach to life that thinking, oh, love, oh, sweet, then you're not in love, man. Because with love comes the struggle with the kids. To be honest, look, kids change.
Oh,
I don't want to go because it's
we love them, but they change everything.
Yeah, but it's such an amazing awkward balance. This awkwardness, because there is nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing. But then there's nothing like it as well in that side of the 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 level, whatever you want to call it. Like, like, oh my, like sometimes I find myself alone with my wife. I'm like, what the fuck do we do? Like, where are we? Is this a multiverse that suddenly we're in and we don't? Because it's just, you just wake up, think of them. Now I sometimes you forget, lost into that, which is not good because
it can be exhausting too, can't it?
Yeah.
Again, I have no regrets because I think my attention, it's great, and I did find balance. Sometimes I wish I didn't neglect, obviously, your partner in that sense. Mutual, it's a two-way traffic thing. You can't just blame one person, obviously, because we have a knack of doing that in society. I know I hinted at the camera just because we stay strong.
Solidarity.
So happy, yes, I think I'm happy.
Very good.
I would not think I am.
I would like to make an observation, if I may, and it ties in with mental health as well. I think that you are a person who is full of self-worth, and I think that's so critical. One, having self-worth, believing and loving themselves. Am I right? Is the observation correct? You're one of those people?
Yes. I would say, it was never brought forward to me in that sense, but if you want to, I would say I have to be very honest, and once we're obviously on the topic, I think I'd be ironically in a very bad place if I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. Because
I'm glad you have it.
Because when I look back and I think of certain things, and when I compare to some others who didn't clutch on, I'm like, okay, so then it comes from that,
resilience.
So I think I would say self-worth.
That's good, man. One of the things that a lot of people look at me and say, this guy's confident, this guy is... I've struggled with self-worth my whole life, still to this very moment.
All right.
I still struggle with it. So I'm glad you have it, and I want to achieve it. So that's what I'm going to continue pushing forward.
Already, I will achieve it. And I'm not being this, I'm not.
No, you're right.
But
the
I will.
Is important,
sometimes, I don't know. I'm giving a stupid example. With kids, we're the same. I can't do. You can't do the best. Fucking do it now.
You will do
it. This is where your not giving a fuckness comes in.
Yes,
right?
because
the ability to deal with your failures, right, and keep on moving forward.
Jesus Christ! And even this thing of exams for kids, and I'm like, look, at least try. If I didn't try, I'd give this example to my daughter, and I have no problem in doing it.
Yeah.
She goes, but we'll be talking first, and she goes, but you didn't do well, and she knows. I'm like, I didn't try.
Exactly. So we in my
and it's fucking important because I didn't try.
In my family,
I never tried. I never said I don't know. I could have been a fucking doctor. Who knows? I didn't try. I was just a mess in terms of fun. Nothing. It was for me. That school was just friends, football, and home, and Olia Benji and cartoons. Kiss Felice. Fuck it. Weird cartoon. I know. But you know what I mean. So I can't say I failed school. No, I didn't try.
So I just want to. So my kids haven't started exams yet. I think my
no, they're a bit young, exactly.
Next year or this year. I'm not sure. But the idea here is, and I've already told them that, basically when we had exams, like our parents would buy us a gift if we've done well.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't work like that. We'll make a deal, right, on something that they are interested in, but it's not based on the final result. It's based on the effort that they put in.
Full stop. And I'm really happy you said that, because that's exactly what I have with my kid, Kate, for our study.
And
I said,
and
with my
trust
boss,
me,
I
it's
was like,
no gift. That's
If in fact, when me and my wife get upset at her, in the sense of, because we're not even that kind of parent at all, I don't believe in it, is when we see a lack of, because you're 10, so don't tell me I don't feel like you're fucking 10. You should be like a jumping bean and I try and tell her the adaptation of time, the value of time. Just look in. I tell her 30 minutes. Now I have discussed sometimes, because it depends with who you have this conversation. Like if I had this conversation with my cousin Michael goes, you don't have that ethic towards training. I don't. I have it towards other things, which maybe you don't. So he has this ethos are different for everyone. I can't.
Course,
my ethos in time, for example, management is, my wife goes like, you're going to talk about time management? At the office, I'm like a fucking guru in the sense of how I would structure everything. But at home, it's a bit different. But then to Kate, I try and teach. I tell her, better sit down for 30 minutes. You have a clock. But 30 minutes into that, and I compare to when I go on a tangent of scripting. I don't go, I want to sit down and script. No. If it comes to me, but then don't get me the fuck up. Until I had nothing, fucking headphones, and I could be in the middle of Republic Street. I'll just
focus. Yeah.
Because I'm doing that. And I joke about my life. I say that's why I don't focus on too many things, because I know that I can't achieve everything.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shortcut, maybe. That one might say, so you only focus on things that you know you can achieve. Well, why the fuck not?
How old are your kids?
Kate's 10 and Laura's turning 6, going on to
So you
25.
both have relatively young kids.
Yeah.
Wait until they're fucking teenagers.
How old is yours?
I've got an 18-year-old,
A boy or a girl?
a boy, and an almost 14-year-old.
Girl or boy as well?
Girl. And all I can tell you is this: all these things that you're trying to implement into them right now,
Yeah.
during the 2 teenage years, they'll just fucking disappear. They will. I'm absolutely certain that they'll come back.
Okay, fair enough.
In early adulthood.
Which is the gap? That it's where you go like, what's happening to my kids? Like, where is it?
13 to 18 is from what I can see so far. It's still ongoing.
It's a process.
But they are, the biggest thing is here, and this was one thing that I found so hard as a parent, is that you get to that point where they're 13, 14, in reality, they hardly need you anymore. And you feel it, because they want to be there, they're starting to develop in their own right.
Yeah.
And you see it, but it's hard to let go. When my daughter's not even 14 yet, she is so independent, and sometimes so rude about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is my life. Don't interfere. This is what I want to do. It's my choice. And this is a 13-year-old.
Bleach. What? Oh, I'm just suggesting. So fucking, I'm not a doctor. I just thought I'd put it out there.
I don't have any needles at home. Otherwise, it might have been an option, man. But I want to prepare you guys for it, because it'll come.
I see.
And I've
it
spoken
coming.
to so many parents who have kids the same age who say, yeah, it's all of them.
Man,
All of them.
It is all of them.
So enjoy the...
Yeah, fuck you all, basically.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. I'm doing you a service, man.
You are.
I promise you. So when the time comes, you'll say, oh yeah, I said it.
When the time comes, let's do podcast episode 102. And I'll be like,
You two bitching
fuck you, Oz. You were right about it. She doesn't even know my name anymore. Oz will be like, yeah, I know, Kev, I told you, man.
I told you, motherfucker.
Mine's 28 and he bought me a house. So yeah.
Shall we head into the last part?
We shall, yes. You want to intro it? Go on. Be a presenter.
I can't be a presenter.
Yeah, go on.
Hold on,
I want you to try.
Hold on.
Hold on.
No one starts.
Where's the
presenting.
Where's the teleprompter?
I have to restructure myself, okay?
Restructure.
Okay.
You know what happens. Just say it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, we have a part at the end of our
You're
podcast.
fucking it up, dude. You're fucking it up.
I can. I'm doing me. Okay, where it's called BET. Okay.
All right.
Books, episodes, and television.
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
Right,
All
and
right.
where we talk about, or we mention one of these things that we have come across this week.
All right.
And
Or
that-
recently.
or recently that would interest our viewers.
There is recently, in terms of, you want my opinion, like me?
You should suggest one, yes.
No,
Either a book or
one I would
episode
say,
or-
look, a book I think is, you will love it.
You don't have to be one of each, just one in total.
No, I want to give one of each.
Go ahead.
But not into detail, but one into detail. This
Book.
one.
What's
You'll
the
love
book?
it.
Go on.
Green Light of Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I heard about it, yeah. I heard the podcast of...
Let me finish it.
It's brilliant, go
I'll
on.
give you a message and I'll
Go
drop
on,
it off for you.
go on.
It's just... You know all we spoke about? Get an A-lister like Matthew McConaughey. Get all he represents, this beautiful specimen
Yeah.
in his own right, this successful actor, this... Everything, you know, Matthew McConaughey, you just go,
Yeah.
and watch how he arrived to where he is.
Yeah.
You want to talk about doing you for you? You can't read another book like my...
Green Light.
Look,
It's crazy. That's why it's called Green Light. Get the gist of it.
I love the
Green
suggestion.
fucking light.
And the reason why is because thanks to you, by the way, he was on the High Performance podcast with, what's the guy's name? What are the two guys' names? Well, the main guy is Jake Humphries, right?
Jake Humphries.
High Performance podcast.
And Damien Hughes.
And Matthew McConaughey was on it. And he was talking about the book and all. Amazing, right? Amazing. And his dad and
Oz,
how he's going to be a lawyer and all
listen
this
to
shit,
me.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Just... And even the quotes and how he used to write on his journal and he was so set, even if he didn't get to where he had to get.
Yeah.
you're the fucking, you know the expression "get rich or die trying," but in this case, it wasn't get rich or die trying, just die trying.
Yeah.
He went to the fucking Amazon to fight himself.
Amazing.
He went to the Amazon, fucking packed,
Yeah, I'll read it too.
and went to the Amazon
Wow.
because that's what he felt he wanted. And the weed and just this more it was naked dance, just everything. He did him.
Wow.
He fucking did him. All right, he didn't have kids. Obviously, he did things you can do before you have kids. Obviously, oh well, when you haven't, then you've not been the best father on it. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that book is green light definitely, and episodes that say only murders in the building because of Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Okay, that's TV,
You know,
TV
that's
series.
TV
yeah.
series, and
And
I know it
podcast
sounds.
episode. Or?
It's a series. I got 3 series, I think, 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen it. It's on.
so Netflix and but I watched on the illegal one. Oh yeah, not having. Oh wait, yeah, everyone has it. Even the
Nobody
illegal
has
ones
it.
have it.
Nobody has
Okay, nobody has it.
I'll have it.
All right.
No idea what he's
Stop
talking
doing
about.
this. Don't
I have
fucking
no
let me
idea
draw.
what he's referring
okay,
to.
all right.
Boys.
So that's really clever because I love the script in it and the acting, of course, in itself. And then recently, I have to mention this: Emily in Paris. I don't care. Judge me.
Oh well, my wife watches
Yeah,
that.
yeah, all right. Well,
And
you
my
should watch it
daughter.
with her also, okay?
Really?
Because it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm not
Hey,
judging
bro,
you
They
at all,
show
mate.
France. They show
pretty
food.
amazing.
Show France.
They show France.
They show food. They
Wow.
show boobs and
Sex.
what's
Yo,
no,
you
not
can-
so, but like the sexy sex. I call it,
Okay,
not like
right.
the sex.
Well,
like the,
it's around
no,
fashion.
just
right?
just sometimes it's like it's Parisian. It's all. It's very.
No,
and-
it is a chick flick series that I have seen all of.
Exactly, I watched it all, and it inspired me again in certain manners. And she gets turned on while she because of the chef, the chef guy.
The chef.
So I tried to dress up as a chef once.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was joking. I was
You
like,
have pictures? You have pictures?
I don't have
Oh,
pictures.
come
I
on,
didn't
man.
dress up as I'm joking. But yeah, those are my 3 right now. Those, but green light is the.
Yeah.
Okay, what
And
about
yes.
you? You want mine? Okay, so
Yeah.
I've done, for me, it's an episode this week, and it is Joe Rogan podcast, episode 1916 with John Bernthal.
I don't know John Bernthal.
Yeah, Walking Dead,
Alright,
Punisher,
alright,
man.
alright.
John Bernthal, man, his story is so amazing. How fucked up he was when he was young, violently
Oh.
fucked up, yeah. And
Him aggressive. Oh.
him aggressive,
Alright.
yeah, and how he was, on the streets, drugs and all
Oh.
this stuff, and he was getting into so much trouble, and then he went to Moscow to the most prestigious acting school in all of Russia to learn his craft, and he made nobody
Why Moscow?
because it's the toughest school, and he wanted to push himself, and how he basically survived where 99% of students don't survive, and he survived, and that sort of elevated his status as an actor. And when he came back to the US, he
Alright.
had like loads of failures, and then boom, The Walking Dead. And then from then it was
There
sort
you
of,
go.
Yeah.
and how he's as a family man, really brilliant
You
episode.
like Joe Rogan?
I don't listen. He's got some crazy shit that I don't get into, like when he gets into the conspiracy stuff. But I liked when
I
he's
find it amusing.
when he's talking to big celebrities, and really,
I like it.
and I like Joe Rogan style. It's just 2 guys having a chat.
Which is
I like that. Yeah, it's really
as it
good.
should be.
Yeah.
Andrew.
And mine is Drive to Survive, the first
You watched-
season.
yeah.
Because I know the fourth
first
one.
season?
Hold on. The
Yeah.
fourth one has come out, and usually I see them in.
It's the 5th now, isn't it? Or was it the 4th?
I think fourth.
Okay.
And usually when I start watching them, I see them in a matter of.
You're one
2
of
days.
those. All right.
But because my partner said, "Okay, I'll watch it with you," and I started from the first season.
That.
But what I really like about
Is an example.
What I really like about Drive to Survive is, for me, I'm in sports. I'm into the mentality game.
What is it about?
It's the
don't
Formula
know
1
Drive to
season.
Survive?
It's about the Formula 1 season.
Kev, come on, man.
If he's not a Formula 1 fan, why
I'm
would
not
he
a
be?
Formula
No,
I'm
no,
a fan.
no. To be fair, neither was I. But since I started watching Drive to Survive,
It's cool. A reality kind of thing.
No, reality.
Ah,
And it
alright,
is amazing. And what I love about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit staged. But
it is a mistake. But
yeah.
But
what
with the real people, I'm saying.
with the real
Yeah.
people.
exactly right.
Well, what I love about it is seeing how these guys function, how they function in their team environments, the struggles and all the obstacles that they have to overcome to find greatness. And some of them, like for example, Lewis Hamilton, the guy is honestly, he is so real. And
I think it's visually that made people believe he's not real. His way he carries himself.
Yeah.
I think he always comes across pretty in a pretty
Him
legit
as
way.
a character, yes, I'd get
know?
it. But if you don't know and you don't listen to him, you don't give him a chance.
I like. Yeah,
I just don't think he's one of those guys who puts on a media persona. He's just himself.
Yeah, he's just himself.
And
I like,
himself
for
is he's a
example,
pretty quiet guy, I think, who, just tells it how it is and stays to himself. You never see Lewis Hamilton doing much public. He stays to
I
himself.
like, for example,
Loves to drive,
watching
all that sort of shit.
Christian Horner and Toto Wolff and how they run their organizations. It honestly, it is
From a business
eye-opening,
perspective,
cool.
fascinating, and I mean, Christian Horner, what an amazing guy! Like.
How long is each episode? Because I have a problem with that.
45 minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes,
45
maybe an
Not
hour.
bad. Because I have a problem with series. Like Emily in Paris is 28 to 34ish minutes. I'll watch it cool.
Listen, if you don't like Formula One, you're not going to enjoy this.
This one,
It's
I
not
think
true. It's not true. I didn't like Formula One until I started because.
But you're a sport.
But
You're
it's
but you come
more
from a
than
sports
Formula
background.
One. It's more than Formula One.
Yeah.
It's the understanding of
Okay,
the.
But I
hang on a
think-
second. Hold on. You come from a sports background and you're a performance coach,
I think it's different for you, Hogman.
right? Hogmeister, come on.
What I suggest is that you try it. That's all.
Yes, of course I will. but-
One episode, Kev. How's it going to hurt you? One episode, man.
You will fucking get
Actually, you will like it because the first episode on season 1 is about Danny Ricciardo, and the guy
He's the guy,
is
he's
funny.
a
yeah.
character.
He's good.
The guy is funny.
It's a shame he's not in Formula One.
Anyway, moving on. All right.
Okay, yes, sir.
Since I'm in piloting this,
Hey, go.
this part of the
Presenter Andrew Hogg.
Okay.
Go for it. And we're going to have to wrap
Your-
this up soon because my bladder is bursting.
your
And
recommendation.
Michael as well.
Right?
2 liters of beer I drank.
This was very subtle to say on. First of all, it sounds like pee, so you have 2 liters of pee. But I'm guessing he said beer, which then translates into pee.
Guys, this
clearly.
is meant to be the serious part of
this
the
is okay.
serious
Yes.
part.
We are.
Okay?
I think we're-
So on our podcast episodes, we do toolkit recommendations. So something basically that you use in your life to I don't know, keep you grounded, to help you with your mental state, right?
Alright.
And so on.
2 or 1?
No, just one.
Just the one, sir.
I think a tool. I know it sounds weird, but and it's not to be blah, but I think the hug in the morning from the wife and kids keeps me a bit grounded. To be honest.
Yeah, I get you. I get that.
That's great.
No,
Yeah,
no, but
that's okay.
if someone might think it's as in not someone, I don't care, but like it's not the obvious signs because
No, why not?
I think
It's a
just
great
that, just
answer, I
that,
think.
and I think driving because I had the option of sending them with the van to school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not sending my kids in their first years of fucking school with the van if I can take them.
Yeah, thanks
And
for
that-
guilting me.
That's right. No, it's me.
Probably the school is like 5 minutes away.
No, it's, no, not at all.
No, it's a long drive.
No, I actually go there, then go back
Oh,
to
yeah.
Brihel. So
You know how many times I write like so I journal.
love it. I
journal.
love talking to them in the car in the morning and we talk about superheroes that we create and jokes, the dad jokes that we create spontaneously. We do the shapes of the cars in front of us, that's what how we see their face, and that just gets my day. That's it, keeps me,
Awesome. Love it.
I journal a lot and like some days, not every day, I kind of write the things that I'm grateful for.
Okay.
You know, gratitude. And many times, so many times where I write like morning hugs.
Because
That's
it's like, man, first of all, a hug is great any time of the day from anyone that you feel a connection with. I think if I could jump and hug you both, I'm not gonna do it.
We can hug after.
No, we're
We'll
gonna
hug
we're
after.
gonna hug. Not like right now to be awkward. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hug you. No,
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
I'm not because of the bladder thing.
Please don't. I'll leave you with nappies out.
It's
yeah.
like what the fuck? No,
I hope you're feeling that
I
warm
think-
sensation, Kev.
I think the hug. I think the hug, man, is just sometimes. First of all, it can mean more than just a hug. Sometimes, many times.
It's human connection too. That's
And
a big thing.
I think it keeps people like us a bit grounded in the sense of saying, okay, this is what matters most. And if everything fails, fuck it. That's why I told you the thing I'm proudest of is that keeping that together.
I'll go back very quickly to just tell
You're doing
you.
the fist bump.
Is that-
I
is that-
can't
that's the
stretch
finger
out, but yeah, you got to. But it's true.
Enjoy it while it lasts, because when they get to teenage years, my daughter doesn't want to.
Episode 102, I swear we're doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna listen to you bitch and moan. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be like this. You remember when I take them to school? Fuck it! I'm not taking them anymore. No. But yeah, for now, I guess I'd say that would be my toolkit, I guess.
Great.
You?
My toolkit is something that's called a dopamine fast, right? Obviously, there's no such thing as a dopamine fast because we always produce dopamine, right? But they use it in the sense of taking a step back from social media, right?
Okay.
Just cutting that out for a while.
Good
You know,
call.
the instant kind of gratification, the coffee, the junk food.
Yeah.
So that is
That's cool,
what I have been trying to apply, right?
Apply meaning do without.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
And yours?
Me.
And wait, how does that
Is it-
come along?
I-
First of all?
I don't get how you overtook my.
No, I just realized I thought you were done, but I was really interested to know how you're actually getting on with it.
No,
He
no.
assumed you weren't
it's-
going to say anything, but now we know you are.
Yeah. No, it's harder than
It is.
you can expect.
Which
Urge
part?
to-
The
yeah,
urge
the
to-
urge to
Food?
do it, yeah.
I delete them.
Oh yeah, off you just remove the app swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
I delete
the
Facebook,
best. That's the best
I
thing to do.
delete
Don't delete
Instagram, yeah.
your account because that's rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
Just delete on on
Yeah,
mobile.
yeah, fine.
If you want to do that,
Yeah.
I don't do it because I might. If
You
I
go
if
on your
not, I
laptop or
would.
whatever.
I take my one coffee a day.
Very good.
And how are you with food? That side of
No,
it?
no, I'm-
you like
I'm-
a
I'm
junk
honestly-
food, but
It's
You do.
It's
You
not
can't
like I
do
go
it.
to fast food places, but I'm bad with chocolate, for example.
you are. That's
I mean, we have
alright.
kids. There's always a chocolate and sweets or something in the house.
My wife found the solution. Don't buy. I swear to
No,
you.
but
And I'm
come on,
like, why should we not buy because of the kids? Like, I want my chocolate. Like,
I'm not only addicted to chocolate, I'm addicted to shopping. How can I not buy?
no, but it's true. So no, because you said it on the kids things. Gummies. Oh, but yeah.
So-
that's a struggle. No, I believe if it's in the drawer, I have to be
Yeah.
honest.
But I give myself a specific timeline. It's this
Okay.
week, right? Friday night, then we can
So
relax.
you have your date, your movie night kind of thing where you're
Yes,
home
yes, absolutely.
and you get out the popcornish.
I'm not a hobbit kind of thing. I'm
No,
not a,
I think anyone
you
who
know,
is.
Plus, he's got a 6-pack, the bastard.
I don't.
A 2-pack, 3-pack.
You know what?
No,
Whatever
no.
pack you
But
have is
I'm-
different to ours.
That's exactly it. You can take your pack and shove it
Whatever
up your-
pack you carry, we carry something else.
Yes. And I think I carry something different to you as well, Kev. Just
I think we just went down in those stages. I don't want to say it. Those you say it.
I mean, tell
Honestly,
me,
right?
you're unlucky because you could have had the Julian Naudi jeans, eh?
I do have the Julian Naudi jeans
Like
actually.
you have in football. And,
But don't do that. Oh no, my jeans what? I have football jeans are there. From who?
what do you mean from who?
Football. We're all good in football. Me, Frank Underwood. We're all pretty good, decent players.
He's looking down on you again.
He can.
He can.
You shouldn't, but he can.
He can.
It's very wrong, but he can.
No, it's all done with love, eh?
I know. it
Okay,
is.
the last thing we're going to say, my toolkit I've come across
Yes.
recently, cold water therapy. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Wim Hof.
Well, yeah, I don't do it exactly, but yes. It reduces muscle pain, stiffness, swelling, and inflammation, but also, I'm reading here, sorry. is that
Go.
Okay. Also activates your vagus nerve. Is it Vegas or Vegas?
Vegas. No?
Vagus nerve, which connects our brain to all of our organs and turns off the sympathetic state or fight or flight response. It turns it off. It also increases the production of mood elevating hormones and neurotransmitters. I've been trying it, so I've done it for like 3 weeks now.
How is it?
It's great.
I
Love it.
have a winter. I mean, you can't really. I mean, I don't manage. I could, but warm shower. What I do is I try many times. Switch on the cold quickly and just go, and then out, and I just go. You
It's
know what I
great,
mean?
yeah. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to maintain it a bit longer.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I'm
I know.
currently
But
at,
I love it. I do love it, but I don't practice it. and
I have
enjoy
like
it.
a 5-minute hot shower,
All
and
right.
then I set a timer and 90 seconds full cold.
Even like full on winter kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
But
First
with
thing in the
heater
morning,
on
man.
in the room kind of
No,
thing. Full on.
full
90
on.
seconds on.
90
But
Timer.
seconds.
do you
No,
feel
timer.
that after you do it sometimes your blood pressure drops just for a bit?
No, I haven't.
It's happened to me before.
Really?
But I'd love to get
It drops. I run. No, why would it drop? Usually
yeah,
it's very
I-
hot.
no.
You
no,
get.
no,
Is it when you're too
but
hot?
when I
Or
switch,
you
when
get-
I switch,
you get
I get
dizzy
that.
like?
I get that
I don't
lightheadedness.
know.
With
when
cold?
I switch.
How strange. That, sometimes they say you stay too long in a sauna, for example, or a hot bath. You can get the
Yeah, I've never heard of
cold.
cold.
For me,
side.
it's
what I
it's
can't
the
believe in
switch.
cold is
I think it does, but I think it
You
does
don't-
lower your blood pressure. It
And
does,
how
lower-
is-
I want to
but
get-
I don't want it to.
I
It
want
shouldn't
to get
lower
an
it to the point where you're going to faint, though.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
feel like
okay.
I want
No
to
one
get
has
a
sex
bath
after this
in the-
cold thing, right?
I've not tried it yet. I usually do it first thing in the morning. I'm not a morning sex guy. All right.
So yeah, you
No.
do it. Because I don't think how you no, because I don't.
I mean,
you
at the
know,
moment, exactly.
because if you have a shower with freezing water, we both all know what happens.
Okay,
You know.
guys, I'm going to have to cut you all off here. Number one, we've been going for a while. Number two, I am dying to pee. It's literally about to go
And I have
down
to
my
be so
legs.
wet.
You know, so I want to look at the camera. I have to have a serious moment because we did discuss suicide on the podcast today, and obviously we are not experts. However, what I would like to say that if anybody out there has ever thought about it, there is always help. There's always help. Okay, you just have to reach out and ask. All right, don't stay alone. Reach out and ask someone. Richmond Foundation have a hotline that you can call, okay? We'll put the details in the bio at the bottom of this podcast episode. Reach out for help. There is always help. There is always people who want to help, okay? So please take that little bit of advice, and we love you, okay?
Preach.
All
I
right.
guess that's I don't know.
So, Kev, Stuff of Legends, man. What a great podcast it's
Oh,
been.
nice.
We thank you so much, man.
Absolute pleasure, man.
You must let me know. I know you've just done a special, but I must be at your next one. Okay, so
You leave me alone.
you've got about 12 months to make it happen, all right?
I know, that's what people go. When's your next one? I just did one. Leave me alone. Can you watch my clips for now, please? No, but obviously I'll let you know, yeah.
And let me know because I'd love to come.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it, mate. Thank you so
Same
much.
here,
Yeah,
very, very much.
loved
man.
it. Thank you.
Andrew, thanks for coming, mate.
I think it's part of my job now.
It is, man. I just wanted to put it out there anyway, all right?
You're too sweet, Drew.
All right, thanks, guys. Cheers.
The content of this podcast is intended for general informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. The information provided on this podcast is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the podcast host or producer. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, please call 112 or seek immediate medical attention.